Holy cow, boys and girls, we made it to Monday. Better yet, we made it to December. It is 6 o'clock in the morning on this first day of December 2025. And you know, that photo there of Lake Wissota, I put that up somewhat ironically. What was it, 2 weeks ago when we had our first little fluke snowfall? It doesn't look like that anymore. There's a lot more snow out there. Nice to have you along on this Monday morning. I'm Pat Kreitlow, Parker Olson standing by as well. Same with Dr. Kristen Lyerly and Selena Heller. And we are guest loaded today. We have got Dennis Bride, the mayor of Wauwatosa, about his new book about all the unrest of 2020. Remember 2020? I know we're all trying to forget, but no, we can't. And so we've got Dennis McBride. We've also got Craig Gilbert, longtime writer from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, talking about the latest Marquette polling and how that might apply to the midterm elections. And we've got surprises galore and the first of our 2-week text to win contest for the grown-up gift list. All that and more coming up right after a bit of news. We'll see you at 6:06 across the Civic Media Radio Network and right here.
MDX.
For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. Cooks are prepping, baking, chopping, and dicing as the Thanksgiving feast nears. No one wants food poisoning on a holiday weekend, so Morgan Peterson, environmental health specialist with the Winnebago County Public Health Department, recommends keeping food safety top of mind, starting with the basics. Hand washing.
Washing your hands, it's always the biggest thing we want to push, especially during this season in general, cold season, all of that. Washing your hands for a full 20 seconds, having the kids that you're cooking with wash their hands for a full 20 seconds as well.
Beware of cross-contamination.
What you kind of see in a lot of home kitchens, especially when you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, is not knowing where raw items are being placed and not knowing that you need to, completely clean and sanitize that area, especially when you're working with turkey or
Peterson recommends using household bleach to sanitize surfaces, sinks, and utensils. Her next piece of advice is to use your meat thermometer.
Take a temperature of the turkey in like the thickest part, like of the breast of the turkey or somewhere like that. That's where you'll get that true internal temperature of the meat.
Speaking of getting food up to temperature and keeping it safe, Peterson said managing a buffet is as simple as keeping the hot foods hot and the cold foods cold, and then refrigerate foods that have been sitting out for 2 hours.
We do recommend kind of the 2-hour timeline, especially for items that should be, cold held or kept below 41. Usually 2 hours leaving it out, but make sure it gets into the fridge within that timeline is fine.
Peterson added, food can easily harbor bacteria that can make people sick when it enters the danger zone between 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Check out the infographic on the Winnebago County Public Health Department social media pages for Thanksgiving tips and tricks. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. For news anytime, civicmedia.us.
Bucks basketball tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NBA. The Bucks play the Wizards in Washington. Milwaukee snapped that 7-game losing streak and now has a chance to catch up against the last place Wizards. The Bucks in 11th place in the Eastern Conference with a record of 9-10. Washington in last place with a record of just 2 wins and 16 losses so far. College volleyball, Wisconsin named the number 3 seed in their region. They'll host Eastern Illinois at the UW Fieldhouse Thursday evening. The Badgers have now reached the NCAA tournament 13 years in a row. NFL, Packers back to work after beating the Lions. They host the Bears Sunday at 3:25. The Bears in first place in the NFC North after beating the Eagles in Philly Friday night.
You got to put the work in. There's no substitute for the work. And thankfully, I'm around a bunch of guys that embrace the challenges and embrace putting in the work. There's no shortcuts in this league, and you just got to keep fighting.
That's Matt LaFleur with Sports on Mike Clemens.
Your neighbors are talking. Leaders are deciding. Madison's story unfolds daily on 92.7 WMDX.
We have a little light snow on the way today, less than an inch of accumulation with a high right around 24 this afternoon. A little light snow could linger into this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low dropping to around 10. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 25. Looks like we could see a little more snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it's 4 above.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Hey there, Wisconsin. Tom Hartman here.
30 seconds left in a break.
You got that right, kid.
Across Wisconsin on Civic Media, you're listening to Mornings with Pat Kreitlow, powered by Up North News. Now, from our Lake Wissota studio, here's the founding editor of Up North News, Pat Kreitlow.
Well, hey there, Wisconsin. Good morning. It is 6:06 on a Monday morning. It's December 1st. I know a lot of times we'd be like, wow, December 1st, how did that sneak up on us? Well, first off, it can't. It's on the calendar, comes the same time every year. But it really didn't sneak up on us because of what all happened over the weekend. We just got whomped by snow across many parts of Wisconsin, which makes it another beautiful morning to have you here up north. Live from Lake Wissota, from wherever you're spending your mornings, listening across the Civic Media Radio Network or catching us on social media, podcast, all the ways. Thank you for getting your work week. Thank you for getting your month of December started right here. I got a question for you. This is a Cyber Monday. Is that still a thing for you? Are you someone who gets your holiday shopping done very early? Are you more last minute? I know a lot of folks, fall somewhere in the middle, but we would love to hear from you if you're one of those folks who's basically already done. How do you do it? Or maybe you appreciate the rush that comes with last minute shopping. Maybe you're able to snag some kind of a discount from a shop that's trying to move stuff off the shelves in the last days. So whether you are an extra early or an extra late shopper of Christmas gifts and holiday trinkets, we'd like to hear from you on this Cyber Monday. Is that still a thing? 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Also, be sure to use that Civic Media app to either call or text the program. We'd love to hear from you that way as well. Let's see. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving weekend, a good holiday. Hope you had a good a meal and that everyone behaved around the dinner table. If you were out hunting, maybe you got that big buck before the gun deer season ended. Mine was a little more unusual with work commitments and things. So neither Sherry nor I got the traditional, turkey dinner type of thing, but we'll be okay. There were plenty of other ways to spend the weekend, and we'd love to hear some of your highlights if you'd like to share those as well. Many guests today. We are guest loaded today. I'll tell you all about them in just a little bit, but I can also promise you some surprises are on the way as well. So you're going to want to stick around for guests I can't even tell you about yet. That is all coming up. Let's see. Tony's up in Ashland. He says, I made the best New York strip steak of my life on Thanksgiving. Wow. On Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving New York strip steak. And it was the best. I want to know how you did it, because my steaks have always been, lately, I finally got my steaks to where I want them. I do the reverse sear thing, in a low oven, 250 degrees for like 30 to 60 minutes. And then the last 5 minutes on a piping hot cast iron griddle to get the temperature just right. Oh, so I want to know your secret, Tony. Tony also says, I often spend Christmas Eve frantically wrapping presents. Yeah, I've been there too, and I'm curious as to whether that is still something that people like to do. They like the rush or not. Let's see. In Ashland right now, it's 14 degrees. Hayward's at 12. It's 16 here in the Chippewa Valley. But it is 4 below zero in Watoma. There are single digits all over the place. Richland Center, you have run out of degrees. It's 0 right now. It's 9 in Wisconsin Rapids, 16 in La Crosse. Oshkosh is at 10. Wausau is at 12 degrees right now. Producing this whole shindig is one Parker Olson, who is standing by at Studio A2 down in Madison at Civic Media's headquarters. Mr. Olson, good morning. How was your weekend?
Good morning, Pat. Pretty good weekend. Not too bad on the life side. On the sports side, not a great weekend.
Not a great week? Oh, no.
Yeah.
This would be Whitewater?
This would be Whitewater.
Oh, no. What happened?
For the third consecutive trip to the playoffs, Whitewater has been knocked out of the playoffs by throwing an interception on a would-be game-winning drive.
They've done this 3 years in a row?
3 of the last 4 years, all 3 of our last playoff trips, we've thrown in an interception while making a drive in an effort to win the game.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I am very sad.
Yes.
I was inconsolable after the Badgers got beat in the Axe game.
You were inconsolable over the Badgers, over the kind of year they had?
Well, that's because that was immediately following the Whitewater.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And I hate Minnesota. So,
yeah, no, totally understandable. The Badgers fell at Minnesota. Quite the snow globe game they had going on there. 17-7. This is how fortunes change in college football. It was not that long ago. Wisconsin had a 14-game winning streak over the Gophers, but now Minnesota has won 5 of the last 8. The Badgers have now missed the bowls for a second straight season after making 22 in a row. 22 years in a row of going to a bowl game. Snapped that last year. We're not going back this year. Whatever. The Badgers finished 4-8, the most number of losses since 1990 when they went 1-10. I hope that's not the direction this team is going in. But you had to feel good about the Packers on Thanksgiving. They beat Detroit 31-24.
That's true. I did feel a lot better about the Packers. Did not get to watch that live, but we did record it and watch it after. So.
I had mentioned before that our local pub here opened up, had the game on, and I couldn't wait to see, just how many of us losers would show up. People who had no family Thanksgiving thing to go to, and it was me and a buddy, and there was 2 other groups of 4 that came in briefly for a little bit. And that was it. It was almost like they opened the bar just for us, which is not the compliment. It's not the flex you might think it is. But I had a good time. I, had my chicken wings. Sherry worked. And, Tony also wants to say, hey, Parker, at least Ohio State whooped Michigan. So there is that.
I mean, I don't.
He also says a great few days to cheer against the state of Michigan. But of course, he's way up in Ashland, so that makes sense. Wow. Roger and Stevens Point. I had the worst nightmare. I woke up and the Bears were the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's not a dream, Roger.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't care though. Here's the thing: the Bears, if this is the greatest thing that they achieve is being the 1 seed for a week and a half, good for them. Because I think this will probably be the greatest thing they achieve all year.
I mean. Again, the people thought at the start of the season the Vikings were all hot and everything, and wow, has that become a dumpster fire? I mean, and the key of just one quarterback getting hurt, is the dominoes just started falling. I knew nothing about this rookie quarterback. I've just seen that replay a few times of doing exactly what I would have done. I would have run around like a turkey with its head cut off with the defense chasing me until I'm 10, 15, almost 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, heave something in desperation and right into the hands of an opposing player, and Seattle runs it back for a pick 6. And again, that's something I would do.
Yeah.
Or a rookie quarterback, as the Vikings were forced to use.
a rookie quarterback who I've never heard of, but apparently PJ Fleck did a great job developing him at Minnesota, so they're really excited about him.
Oh, no, he was a Gopher?
Yeah, he was a Gopher. He was an
Yikes.
undrafted free agent, and he became, got in the history books yesterday, the Vikings did. The Vikings are the first team since the 1950s to have a rookie quarterback, or a quarterback getting their first start, throw a pick six on their first career start.
Oh, well,
Two
hey,
of them.
Congratulations.
2 of them in 1 year.
You got that going for you, which is nice. All right, so we've got that to comfort us. And meanwhile,
it does make me feel good.
As for the Bears, I mean, we get a chance to knock them down next weekend when the Packers host the Bears. Keep in mind, your little fridge magnet schedule is wrong. It listed as a noon game. It has already been flexed to 3:25. So Packers-Bears is a 3:25 start, so the pregame will start at 1 o'clock Sunday on Civic Media stations in Watoma, Ironwood, Racine, Park Falls, Richland Center. And then there's the Bucks, who I guess the losing streak got to 7 games. And Giannis is back, and the Bucks have broken out of their skid after beating Brooklyn on Saturday. Giannis topped 21,000 points for his career so far. Now that's, he's the 42nd player ever to score that many points, but he's also the 6th youngest to get to 21,000 points. Wow. The guy's just pretty good. And they are in Washington to face the Wizards tonight. Badger men's basketball, they beat Providence and San Diego on Thursday, but then lost to TCU on Friday. It looked like, I wasn't there at the very beginning, but it kind of looked like they trailed wire to wire in that one, or at least reasonably close to it. TCU,
they struggled in that one, I think.
They did. Now, they will host Northwestern on Wednesday night, and you can catch that Badger men's basketball game starting at 7:30 Wednesday on several Civic Media stations. The Badger women's basketball team lost both of their games in Daytona Beach. They fall to 6-3 on the season. They host Michigan State on Sunday. The Badger men's hockey team had the weekend off. They will play at Notre Dame Friday and Saturday. You can listen Friday starting at 5:30 on our stations in Wisconsin Rapids and Ironwood. The top-ranked Badger women's hockey team won a tournament in Nashville over the weekend, defeating Mercyhurst and Stonehill. Next, they travel to Ohio State this Friday and Saturday. And then finally, the Badger women's volleyball team, 10th ranked in the country. They wrapped up the regular season with a sweep of 18th ranked Minnesota over the weekend. So there were some Badgers that beat some Gophers. So they end the regular season 24-4. So the Badger women learned last night that they are a 3 seed in the NCAA women's volleyball tournament, and that means that UW-Madison will play host to first and second round matches in that field of 64. So the Badger volleyball team will next play Thursday night in the first round of the NCAA tournament at home against Eastern Illinois. So those are all the sports notes. The only thing I don't have on there, now that it's December, is I should have jotted how many days until spring training and the first game of the Brewers 2026 season, because it's winter now, and we need that to look forward to.
I believe it's 160-ish.
Yeah, I can deal with that. I can get through anything for 160 more days and then see baseball, especially if we can get the Packers to beat the Bears. That's the kind of thing that would make me definitely happier. All right, let's take a look at what else we've got on the program today, because like I said, there is a lot going on. Craig Gilbert, longtime analyst, political analyst, writer for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, joins us at 7:35. There's a new national Marquette poll that adds to danger signs for Republicans in the 2026 midterms. We'll explain in our next segment here some of the reasons why that might be. There's a lot of self-inflicted damage on the part of certain Republicans. But also we have at 8:35, we have Dennis McBride, the mayor of Wauwatosa, who has a new book out about his tumultuous first year as mayor in 2020. I know we'd all like to forget 2020, but you can't. And Dennis McBride will have a lot to say about that. Selena Heller has a story about doctors in rural Wisconsin sounding the alarm. We've got Jimmy Kuska talking sports. John and Gordy will be here. Jane Matinaire and Dr. Kristen Lyerly. And we've got some other surprise guests coming along as well that we'll tell you about in a little while. Oh, and Congressman Mark Pocan coming up on Thursday. So you might want to subscribe to us. get over to Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow the show that way as well. We'll talk about some of the national headlines coming up next from the heart of America's Up North, live from Lake Wissota. Thanks for making this the place to spend part of your Mondays. Oh, wait, there's more. Our next Text to Win contest begins less than an hour from now on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Hearing loss is frustrating. If you're not sure what others are saying in conversations because of loud background noise, why not call Madison Hearing Aid Center? 608-249-4077 is their number. They offer fast and flexible appointments. Talk to Jim or Sarah. They're helping people change their lives with better hearing. Get a free hearing test online at MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. That's MadisonHearingAidCenter.com, 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. Tell them John and Gordy sent you.
Hello, this is Dr. Chris Kammer, the no-drill, no-shot dentist from Victorious Dental in Madison. I heal teeth with medicine, recommended and prioritized by the American Dental Association. I stop cavities by simply brushing antibiotic on your teeth. So no shots, no drills. For a kinder, more humane healing experience at the dentist, reach out to Victorious Dental. We'll help you win the battle for your health, peacefully and comfortably, only at Victorious Dental. Find us at thedrillisgone.com.
Afternoons with John and Gordy.
Prices are going up. Shrinkflation is paying the same price for a smaller size. Skimpflation, paying the same price for lower quality. Then there's sneakflation, paying the same price with fewer perks. And then, of course, you know, there is
inflation,
yeah, right? Greedflation,
okay.
So the whole bunch of flations.
It's John and Gordy in the afternoons from 2 to 5 on the Civic Media Radio Network.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Is getting back.
Coming up on 6:23 on this cold Monday morning, first day of December. A reminder, get that Civic Media app ready on your phone for a couple of reasons. First off, as I said just before the break, our next Text to Win contest gets underway just after the 7 o'clock news. You'll text in a keyword during the 7 a.m. hour and then other hours that I'll tell you about here. And you can be in the running for things off the Civic Media grown-up gift list. But you can also use that app to call us, to text us, but also to record a voice note, and then we may play that back on air, in lieu of a phone call. All the different ways you can use the Civic Media app. Get that downloaded before 7 o'clock and get set to take part in our next contest. Brian Lemick from Defend the Vote will join us tomorrow. It's a group that is working to inform Americans about the cost of corruption. You see, we have an affordability crisis in this country. But this isn't just some kind of run-of-the-mill inflation. It's the result of intentional decisions made by an administration with a business model that frankly includes a level of corruption. And you're the one paying the price for it. And we'll talk to Brian Lemick from Defend the Vote about that tomorrow. So we do have a rather well-rounded show today with a lot of fun stuff, but we do have to nod toward the news that's happening in the world. And it ain't great. And so we'll take care of that here and then dispense with it. It's been a nice holiday weekend. So the folks who haven't been following the news very closely aren't going to like coming back to reality so harshly. But the cold, hard truth is that the President of the United States spent the weekend being a racist piece of garbage. He was also winking at a likely war crime. and lying about the conditions that led to the shooting of a National Guard member in D.C. last week. 2 shot, 1 died. But Donald Trump's unhinged social media rant on what should have been a day of giving thanks was embarrassing, even by his standards. It's like he knew that this was a day that often gets joked about for having to endure the dinner table rants from your oddball racist uncle and decided to give all those uncles a roadmap. He pledged to halt immigration from basically anything other than white-led nations. He even dropped in the word retarded to criticize a sitting governor. Nobody uses that word in society anymore, except the jerks. In the past, that would have been considered a joke, a sick and unfunny joke. But Donald Trump did something by coming to power that's going to leave America a broken place for many years to come. Here's what he did. He lifted the rock. You know, the rock that most of the racists, sexists, fascists, even Nazis had the good sense to crawl under, because they knew that speaking up would lead to well-deserved ridicule, not merely for values that live best in a gutter, but ridicule because much of what they say just isn't true. I mean, how many of us have had to correct somebody, usually politely, who was passing along some kind of a right-wing talking point without checking to see if it was actually based in reality? But now they say these things that they don't even care. MAGA world wants you to believe that the Afghani who shot 2 National Guard members in D.C., killing 1, was somehow vetted during the Biden administration. No, it happened on Trump's watch. They want you to believe a lot of stuff about the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan that was, in fact, done during Donald Trump's first term. But they know that if they say it enough people will foolishly go along with it. Kind of like right now claiming that they have the right to blow up boats in foreign waters and that it is somehow justified when it's not. We're not at war, and you can't just say we're at war, and you can't just declare fishermen or even drug runners as enemy combatants. But there's something worse than simply blowing up a boat, because now you've removed the threat, right? I mean, the boat, if it was bringing drugs to this country, is no longer a threat, right? So what's worse than that? What's worse is going back and killing the human beings bobbing around in the water. Look, you could just leave them be to drown, if you want to be just your basic monster. But going back to kill them while helpless in the ocean? Well, kids, that's a war crime. That's the kind of thing we prosecuted other nations about when our sailors and seamen and airmen who had to parachute out of their planes and were in a helpless state in the water or in some other form. We have these rules because we're better than that. And it's not tough. It's not justice to claim otherwise. There's nothing macho about it. There's nothing justifiable about it. It is a crime. And you say you're going after drug runners, but hey, there's an even bigger crime on the grand scale of things. It's the apparently upcoming presidential pardon of Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras. Trump calls him a victim of persecution. No. He helped manage a decades-long drug trafficking network. Over 20 years, he helped facilitate gangs that brought in more than 500 tons of cocaine into our country. He was eventually put on trial in the U.S. and sentenced to 45 years in prison. Now, less than a year later, Trump says Hernandez is the real victim. And if they can jail him, well, they could do that to any president. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I'm starting to think that the alleged drug boats that Trump is bombing only committed one crime, and that was not letting Trump wet his beak and get a taste of that particular drug money. And we don't even have time to get into another pardon, that of David Gentile, a money launderer, whose $1.6 billion scheme defrauded thousands of investors. He had a fair trial. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He reported to prison on November 14th, and Trump pardoned him last Wednesday and set him free after 12 days behind bars. Coming up next, we will lighten things up considerably with today's history lesson. The cowbell is back. We'll explain why, along with Dr. Kristen Lyerly and some other surprises right after the Midwest Farm Report. I'm Pat Kreitlow. You're up north.
Construction barrels bloom every spring. So do opinions. WMDX, guiding Madison through life's most predictable surprises.
So, is the weather event we lived through over the weekend an example of Wisconsin's extreme weather? I'm PM Yankee with a quick update on what's happening in food and farming news on a Monday. Guess what? The Wisconsin State Climatology Office, along with WiscoNet and the Rural Partnership Institute, want to ask you that very question. We'll explain the platform for that conversation next.
You know, a favorite trucker hat with a wedding tuxedo is certainly a unique combination, but not as crowd-pleasing of a combination as Cropland WinPak varieties. WinPak soybeans blend together two complementary varieties to help maximize yield potential and reduce risk across variable field conditions in many environments. Talk to your local Cropland retail seed expert about WinPak varieties, one of the most unique concepts in soybeans today.
Amanda Latham is one of the meteorologists in the Wisconsin State Climatology Office. Tomorrow evening at 4 p.m. in Rhinelander, they're beginning a series of conversations with Wisconsinites to talk about extreme weather and the climate we're living in. She says whether you realize it or not, we have seen some major changes in the extreme weather events we lived through.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen more extreme flooding, but on the backside of that, we've also seen more extreme droughts. And especially those people in rural areas have really seen that. We're having flooded fields more frequently, but then longer stretches where it doesn't rain and those fields dry up. We're seeing more extreme heat during the summer, especially overnight. We know that has an impact on crops, especially when those overnight temperatures stay really warm. It kind of exhausts those plants. It's also getting a lot more humid, which has an impact on people, but also on crops and plants as well.
Amanda Latham, one of the staff meteorologists in the Wisconsin State Climatology Office. Now, they are hosting an Extreme Weather and Climate Services Roadshow tomorrow from 4 until 6 p.m. It is physically going to be at the Newbold Community Center in Rhinelander, but she encourages people to follow along with their conversations because they'll be scheduling more of these roadshows in the future. You want to register or find out more about the conversation, just look for the Wisconsin State Climatology Office or go to our website, MidwestFarmReport.com.
As the weather changes, it can start to impact feed quality. Don't let your cows become the victims of the ration roller coaster. Adding Generator Elite to your herd's ration can introduce beneficial microbials that support gut health and help the herd navigate the highs and lows of feed quality, all while using less than an ounce per day per cow. Learn more about Generator Elite at bio-vet.com.
Innovation, that's BioVet.
Don't forget, our talk text line is open for you anytime you'd like to share what's happening in your backyard. 877-301-FARM. I'm Pam Yankee.
From the capital to your kitchen.
And there she is now. Hi.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good. How was your long weekend?
Nice. It was so nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Kind of relaxing, kind of social.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boys were here. They played some music. That is my dream. When they were little and we gave them all those little instruments that you would use to, bang on and shake and whatever. My dream was always that someday they would be able to use them in some sort of an organized manner together. And it happened.
That's great.
Yeah. And they picked the song Santeria.
Okay. You couldn't just go for a little cowbell, a little don't fear the reaper. You had to. All right.
We got the cowbell. We got all the stuff.
Gotcha.
We have all the toys.
All righty. Oh, and how did your FOMO do?
It was okay. Just looking at the weather. Part of me was really wanted to be there suffering with everybody else because it looked just so classic, such a classic, brutal battle. But I was really warm at the brewery and having a great time.
Well, that's great.
20 seconds.
Oh, okay. I suppose we got to get ready for this thing here. All right. Do that. And
10 seconds.
This.
It's time once again for today's history lesson on Mornings with Pat Kreitlow.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
It's one small step for man.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
You know, this depression is going to be so great. We'll be the ones eating the cats and the dogs. That's going to be fun.
Once again, it is time to take another revealing peek back into history.
From this day in 1968, we're actually a few days late on this one. The Beatles recorded Birthday for their White Album, which was released on November 22nd, 1968. That's not why we're playing it. Kristen Lyerly is here, and tomorrow is her birthday. Dr. Lyerly, good morning.
And you know whose birthday is today? Not to jump ahead in your news cycle, Pat, but it is Mandela Barnes' birthday. Maybe we'll get an announcement from him this week.
That it's his birthday. Oh, yeah, could be. You never know.
Uh-huh. See how I did that? I pulled the news into your entertainment? You're welcome.
Yeah. Happy birthday. How are you?
Good. I was watching the Beatles anthology last night. They're replaying it on Disney Plus, and I mean, every little detail. I'm like, yes, 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 and I'm singing. My kids are like, "What's going on out here?"
Look at you. So, what are you doing? Anything special tomorrow? I know birthdays on a Tuesday are a little weird, but Or did you do stuff over the weekend? I mean, you kind of got like instead of the Christmas birthday, you've got more like the Thanksgiving weekend birthday.
Yeah,
since it's December 2nd.
I like it. So tomorrow, I'm actually just tucking it in. I'm probably just going to call some friends, and the boys are going to make dinner for me. We're going to have some cupcakes.
Nice.
So I think it's going to be nice and quiet.
Good for you. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, happy birthday. A little early, of course. That'll be tomorrow. You can all call and pester her later. Heck, you can all call today if you want and give her happy birthday greetings as well. Let's get back to the history lesson. In the meantime, this is the anniversary of the birth of the late, great Lou Rawls.
You'll never find
that voice.
Yeah.
As long as you live. Someone
Lou Rawls passed away in 2006, born this day in 1933. The late comedian Richard Pryor was born this day in 1940. Actress-comedian Sarah Silverman is 55 years old today.
Sarah Silverman and Richard Pryor have the same birthday?
Uh-huh. Doesn't that check out?
Huh.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a funny set of bookends there.
I know. Born 30 years apart here. Janelle Monáe is 40 years old today. And let's see, turning 81 years old today is Eric Bloom, lead singer of Blue Oyster Cult, connected forever with this tune.
No wonder you were thinking about cowbells.
Exactly. See? So we got Blue Oyster Cult's Eric Bloom, 81 years old today.
Do you have a cowbell?
I do. It's in the garage, well hidden away from like grandkids who might come visit and want to like clang that thing at the wrong time. So yeah, but yes,
you need
I
to
do.
take it out in time for Christmas. I mean, the grandkids need a little cowbell, don't you think?
I think so. Yes,
We all need more cowbell.
We all could use a little more cowbell.
Yeah.
Let's see, Bette Midler. She is 80 years old today.
Wow.
This is the 79th birthday for singer Gilbert O'Sullivan and his sappy little tune from the 70s, Alone Again, Naturally. On this day in 1988, newlyweds Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet welcomed a baby daughter. Zoe Kravitz is 37 years old today. Let's see, we haven't done anything from the Wayback Charts. Let's go back to 1958. The number one song in the nation was by the Teddy Bears.
Isn't this Phil Spector's group?
Could be.
I feel like there's a Phil Spector tie-in here.
I would not be surprised in the least, yeah. On this day in 1878, the first telephone was installed in the White House for President Rutherford B. Hayes, which raises the question, how many people remember that we had a President Rutherford B. Hayes? You know, there's just some that you go, that? We should do that for a quiz. President, not a president. Put in people like Millard Fillmore and others.
Rutherford B. Hayes, did he have the great lamb chops?
Not as much as Chester Arthur, who I guess there's a movie coming out with Nick Offerman playing him. I saw a picture of him yesterday with the mutton chops. Yeah, I know. They figure, hey, if we could do Alexander Hamilton, we can do anybody, right? At this point,
why not?
Yeah.
All we know about these people really is a picture.
Yes. On this day in 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama, seamstress Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat to a white man. She was arrested for violating the city's racial segregation laws, and that led to the city's bus boycott, which helped advance the civil rights movement. The late Billy Paul, singer, was born this day in 1934.
Now she'll go her way, and I'll go mine. Tomorrow we'll meet the same place, the same time. And Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones.
I mean, say what you will about the song lyrics and the premise behind it, but that voice, holy cow, kids. On this day in 1973, the Carpenters were on top of the singles chart with On Top of the World.
Aww. Were you a big Carpenters fan, Pat?
Huge.
Shocking.
No, it's not. Not even a little bit, is it? No.
No.
From Roger here. Yes, Kristen. Phil Spector was a member of the Teddy Bears and composed To Know Him Is to Love Him.
Thank you, Roger.
There we go.
I knew Roger would know.
The problem with my not constantly looking at the comment section is I again lose context. So for Tony, who says, I remember because he's from my hometown, Fremont, Ohio, just like Charles Woodson. I don't remember who he wrote this about. So we've talked about many people. One of them is from his hometown of Fremont, Ohio.
Awesome. We're going to need a little follow-up on that, Tony.
Yep, we are. What did you end up doing cooking-wise then? Did you do the turkey dinner at the kitchen?
I do not like to cook, but I will cook on Thanksgiving. And I have a classic combo of recipes that go together that the kids love and will eat. And it includes Brussels sprouts.
It includes Brussels sprouts, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Tony says it was Rutherford B. Hayes he was talking about, which makes sense. He was, yes, from Ohio. Tony had told us earlier that he made the best New York strip steak of his life on Thanksgiving. And when I said, how'd you do it? He just sent in, never frozen, just in a skillet on the stove, covering it with butter and a few spices. I usually overcook it. This time I trusted the thermometer, and I did it just right.
It's so hard to trust the thermometer because it's flaky.
No, I've got a good thermometer. It has not failed me yet. Oh, what a difference. I spend my time, every time I make a beautiful steak, it's like, where was I for the first 30 years when I could have been using this thing, you know? Like, oh, nobody else ever used it, so I just, I'll just trust my gut, right?
Maybe I need a new thermometer because mine was all over the place. It was perfect, and then it was 100 degrees hotter, and then we rechecked it and replaced it, and it was fine. And then it was 100 degrees hotter. It was making me nervous. This is the turkey. I didn't want to poison my family. And we put the stuffing in the bird, so there's a lot at risk here.
That was very old school. Hey, speaking of old school, have I got an old school a guest on the line to talk to you? Mystery guest, is there anything you'd like to say here today?
Yeah, I'd like to wish Dr. Lyerly a happy birthday for tomorrow.
Pat McBride. Welcome.
Hi, Dr. McBride. How are you? Oh, best
I'm doing
birthday
great.
present ever.
Yeah, the esteemed Dr. Lyerly, who shares a birthday with Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
Britney Spears,
Mm-hmm.
Lucy Liu.
Yep.
No, she's the best, Dr. Lyerly. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, my dear friend. Oh, how much do we love Pat McBride?
Pat, for
Oh,
those.
no, the opposite. How much do we love Dr. Lyerly?
It is a well-deserved mutual admiration society. We've talked about Dr. McBride. It's been a while now since he wrote the book, The Luckiest Boy in the World, about his time working with the Milwaukee Bucks, the Milwaukee Brewers, and then eventually moving into a very esteemed career in public health. And I believe you were a guest on Dr. Lyerly's show not that long ago. I know Dennis McBride, your brother, was also a guest, but how is she as an interviewer, not just as a person and a doctor? I mean,
Well, my twin brother said she could have a long career in media, but we're looking for her to eventually replace Tammy Baldwin.
there we go. Any birthday announcements you want to make there, Kristen?
We'll see where the road leads because,
Okay.
as you know, as I was taught by the Dean of Students at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health, the gentleman that we're talking with right now, it is not about a position, it's about making a difference. So wherever I belong, wherever I can fit in to serve, that's my plan. So we'll see where the road takes me.
Well, that is wonderful. And so Dr. McBride, I mean, Kristen's obviously made a name for herself these days, but you knew her way back when. Did you see any potential then, or are you as shocked as others at where this girl from Kaukauna has gone?
Well, what was amazing was she didn't have one, but two children during medical school and didn't miss. I said, you got to take some time off. No, she wouldn't do that. She just kept going, and she did fantastic. She's one of my top 10 all-time students in medical school, and look what she's done.
Look at that. See, I know the man. My wife as well had two kids while in med school. There must be something about adding parenthood to all the other million things that you're juggling there, Kristen. So good on you.
Well, she's adored by her patients, esteemed by her colleagues, and she juggles. She's a fantastic mother who's raised these fantastic young men, and she's just doing great work in everything she does. And look at everything she does.
Oh my goodness. And then even, it's funny you say esteemed. Tony and Ashlyn just put up on YouTube her most esteemed title, YouTuber. She's moving into the influencer realm of things as well.
Oh, you know what's so much fun, Pat? We're going to be let me just go ahead and announce this right now since we've got a minute. We are about to be live on the air in Chicago starting this weekend.
That's right.
My show is growing.
Wow.
It's growing in the number of people who are pitching in to help out. It's growing in our broadcast capabilities. It's growing in our streaming capabilities. So we're getting the word out just in time to start ramping up for the midterms in November and making sure that we're getting a good, entertaining message out to people. So it's really a wonderful opportunity, and I'm thrilled. And I would not be here without you, Pat McBride. Or Pat Kreitlow.
Dr. McBride, thank you so much for being our mystery surprise birthday guest here.
You bet. Happy birthday tomorrow. You share a birthday with my wife as well. So congratulations tomorrow, and enjoy your day.
Oh, that's so
thank
great.
you so much. Happy birthday
Thank you,
to
Patty.
her.
Appreciate it. Oh, that's great. Dr. Pat McBride joining us. And, if we can maybe get one or two other greetings in, we'll certainly try. Kristen's going to be around here for a little bit. But again, a reminder, you can hear the Dr. Kristen Lyerly Show weekends here across the Civic Media Radio Network. And coming soon to the Chicago market as well. Such a special birthday. Anyway, we'll continue things here, and then after 7 o'clock, Up North News reporter Selena Heller will be here as well. I'm Pat Kreitlow. You're Up North.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Did you call Pat and tell him to call?
No, everybody just knows. I mean, I might have put the word out someplace. Especially since I've got Dennis McBride on at 8:30, so it just seems like a natural.
Do you
fit.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. great.
You said, you say, hey, this would be a good guest. It's a good guest. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis, they are so different too. Pat is entertaining and fun, and he's got story after story about, like if you love sports, he has endless stories about super cool things that are unbelievable. Dennis is quoting Shakespeare and talking about he's totally different and very serious, which is really what Wauwatosa needed during his first term as mayor with all the, crazy things that were happening. They really needed somebody who was just really locked in. So yeah.
Okay.
Very, very cool folks.
All right. I'm going to grab some coffee here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
The holidays are here, and it's time to pick a present from Civic Media's grown-up gift list with this local station. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $200 cash and be entered to win one of our grand prizes, a snowblower, stainless steel cookware set, or a portable air conditioner. Just download the free Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7 for your chance to win in our multi-state contest.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Where working people come to talk. It's the Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network. Join me for an honest approach to the issues American working families care about. No talking points, no focus groups. Get ready for a heavy dose of democracy.
Good morning, Ms. Heller.
Good morning.
How are you?
All right.
All righty. Let's see. Did you hear Kristen's birthday is tomorrow? So
I was just hearing that.
Okay.
Happy birthday early.
The cat, always the cat. All right, what do we got? Oh, we got 30 seconds here, so let me pop that back up there, and then we'll get
I don't hear Kristen. Is that?
I was muted.
Okay, good.
Because my
Like,
son
oh,
is
no.
in the kitchen, which is why you don't see the cat, because he's petting the cat. Who is taking care of it. It's a team effort.
Welcome back at 6:52. Up North News reporter Selena Heller is here, and Whiskers, who's taking up most of the camera space.
Yep.
And birthday girl, Dr. Kristen Lyerly. We asked earlier how you treat Cyber Monday or how you treat your shopping. Text from Jim in Brookfield. Good morning, Pat. I need to get an early start on shopping since my wife's birthday falls on Christmas Day. Growing up, she often felt like her birthday was overlooked. So to avoid blending a gift into the Christmas birthday category, I will have 2 sets of gifts, one wrapped with Christmas wrapping paper and one with birthday, which is hard to find at Christmas, so I stock up early. Jim from Brookfield's got this figured out. He has so got this figured out that he's actually joined us on the phone as well. Jim, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pat, Kristen, Parker. It's good to hear everybody. I want to wish Kristen, Dr. Lyerly, a early happy birthday. I do want to point out, however, that she did, I believe Friday, predict that the Gophers were going to lose the axe to the Badgers. And I was a little surprised that that's her alma mater. However, my 2 Gopher daughters, one's graduated, one's a sophomore, they will forgive her. And they listened to her show over the weekend.
Oh, no, not that show. Of all the shows to have them listen to.
That show.
Oh,
I mean,
maybe you could have picked one with a quality guest that was on this past weekend, you know?
Oh, boy. Oh, it was such a good show because we hit all the important points. how media survives in small towns. What is the future of media? Why is Wisconsin politics relevant? I mean, Pat, that show was packed full of really good stuff. I really enjoyed doing it with you too.
We did. That was a lot of fun. So Jim, I'm glad the daughters got a chance to hear it. Thank you again. We got to visit not long ago, including the gift of homemade fudge. Did you say it was your grandmother's recipe, Jim?
My mother.
Your mother's recipe. Okay.
Right, who my wife is carrying the tradition on, and I'm glad I was able to share that with you, Pat.
Yeah, and you look good. You were moving along. You and Kristen comparing notes on your respective knee replacements. Are you carrying along so well?
Yes, it's going along very well. I had quite the workout over the weekend with the snowstorm. Not one, but three episodes of shoveling. My wife was out helping. It was a team effort. But 3-hour-plus sessions of shoveling. I was very careful not to twist on it, but the knee passed the snow shoveling test, and it's going along well.
Excellent. Oh, that's good.
Every day it's a new test, isn't it?
That's right.
Exactly.
Hey, and Jim, good job on the 2 kinds of wrapping paper for your wife's Christmas birthday.
A good idea.
Thank you. I did learn the hard way. It's hard to find it. Or birthday wrapping paper is not the easiest around Christmas, so I stock up early and have it in reserve.
That is very
true.
true.
It means a lot that the gifts are separated because it makes her feel that she does, that the birthday is a separate occasion. That everything's not blended together and rolled into one. So it means a lot to her.
I did see a cartoon that I snipped, did a screenshot of, because I've got a friend with a Christmas time birthday, and it's the 3 wise men at the manger, and one of them is saying, "Now, just to be clear, these gifts are for Christmas and your birthday." the original gift dilemma there. Jim, it's great to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a great start to your day.
Welcome.
Thanks for calling,
You
Jim.
as well, everybody. Thank you.
All right, there you go. So, again, just a few birthday folks wanting to say hi.
My dad's birthday was on Christmas Eve, so that was kind of a bad deal.
Yeah.
We made him a fruit cake, though. The weirdest thing, he liked fruit cake, so that was his birthday cake. So I was making fruit cake.
Oh, well, that's great. Alicia writes in on YouTube, it was a good show. I listened to it on my way down to Milwaukee yesterday while taking my son back to school. So, all right, Kristen, I guess I got one good mark there. So that's good. And one for you. So I got it from Alicia. So that counts. And Selena, how was your Thanksgiving weekend?
Good. We had it on Saturday when it snowed, so it was very bad weather. Yeah. So it was kind of the white knuckle driving. And then the old Thanksgiving, I always work the turkey trot. So
that's right, turkey trot time too.
I played music. Emery's elementary school song is called like "Gobble Gobble," and it was like, "Oh my, get your turkey in your belly." It was
No, keep going. You're doing great. It's
No, I'm not a singer, but the song was funny and it was a hit. So I saw all the turkey trotters.
All right. Well, good. We did. Sherry actually was supposed to be on call just for Thursday, but her replacement couldn't get there in time. And so she ended up being on call for 48 hours. So Thursday and Friday of it all. So we completely missed out on the Thanksgiving experience, but then Saturday, Sunday, we were just Christmas prep beasts. I put up the tree and got that all decorated and went through it feels like a million Christmas ornaments. We just finally, because they all get thrown in boxes all the time, kind of unorganized. And finally this year, since it was just the two of us and I had nothing but time, I spread them all out. The whole living room was covered in Christmas ornaments. And we're like, okay, these are ornaments we haven't put up in like 20 years, if ever. And actually a lot of them, either she or I would say, I have never seen that ornament before. Were they like gift exchange? Were they white elephant gifts, whatever? And we're just like, I've never seen that one. And I'd be like, oh no, we've had that on a tree a few times. Nope, have never seen it. So there were many that are being donated or being donated to waste management, one or the other. But it was a very busy Christmas prep weekend, probably one of our earliest Christmas prep weekends. During the snowfall, we went to several stores around Eau Claire and got all of that done. And so, so now we've got Cyber Monday. Either any of you doing any some shopping online today?
Maybe. A little bit.
Okay.
getting a few things, I think, quickly and see if they're any more of a deal than any other day, I guess. But
well, that's just it. I mean, that's why I feel like Cyber Monday isn't what it used to be because, now we shop online all the time. I mean, I certainly did over the weekend as well. And I'm happy to report the Christmas cards are already out. They're out. They're done. They're off the list. Oh, amazing when you got nothing but time on a holiday weekend because somebody's working. So it's all said and done. Selena is going to be back after the news, and we're going to talk much more about rural medicine and what doctors have to say about just how dire circumstances are becoming across rural Wisconsin. I'm Pat Kreitlow. You're up north. All righty. Got that. Let's see. Got another Alicia on the weekend. And okay. All right. All of our ducks are now officially in a row. Oh, except for you, Selena. Just want to confirm the tapes and the order here. Is it, I got to scroll down here. Oh, no.
Cow first.
Cow first, then Dunn County Doctor.
Cow, and then, okay. And I didn't get your note. You're not saying his name?
Yeah. Is that okay?
That's fine. Okay. So you got to give all the context then of what he was speaking at and all of that. So
yes.
All righty. Sounds good. Okay. We also have the text to win contest that starts. So I've got that. Selena, can you stick around till 7:30 if we get delayed with things?
Yep.
I don't think we will, but I just wanted to double check. Okay. Well, then I think we're good. Yeah. We'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
The netting that covered the scaffolding was not up to fire safety codes. This is ABC News.
Local news, real voices, and conversations that count. That's Madison. And that's 92.7 WMDX.
For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. It's Native American Heritage Month, and advocates are working to reframe how Wisconsinites understand history, power, and culture. About 144,000 people across Wisconsin identify as Native Indian or of Alaskan heritage, according to the 2020 census. Many of them belong to one of the state's 11 federally recognized tribes. But Nancy Jo Hauk from the American Indian College Fund says Indigenous voices often aren't heard by the masses. The fund has launched a new campaign that highlights significant contributions to our culture that came from Native people.
Scientists who have developed and produced really great things, the original regenerative farming, the Three Sisters crop planting, rocket technology, and the patterns of our ecosystem, all of that Native people have influenced hugely.
Indigenous people are more likely to have economic disadvantages. 27% of Native kids in Wisconsin live in poverty, compared to 8% of all Wisconsin children. The Trump administration is working to institute a funding freeze that the Brookings Institute reports would impact $24 billion to tribal nations, businesses, and programs. Since 2018, the federal government has awarded Wisconsin tribes $2.8 billion in funding. The Brookings analysis found about $750 million of that has been paid, but the funding freeze puts $2 billion in jeopardy. America's history, including the many harms suffered by Native people after European settlers arrived on the continent, cannot be rewritten. But Hauk says the history of Native people is a story of hope.
Native people have been around for over 12,000 years in the United States, and I think that's a testament to their resiliency and their resourcefulness, and I think that we can all really learn a lot from that, especially now.
I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. This is Civic Media News.
It's the Bucks and the Wizards. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NBA. The Bucks on the road tonight against the Wizards at the Capital One Arena in downtown Washington. The Bucks have Giannis and Kevin Porter Jr. back from injuries, able to end that 7-game losing streak over the weekend. College football. Wisconsin lost at Minnesota 17-7. So after finishing 4-8, where's the Badgers program headed? Luke Fickell.
It is what it is right now, so we know more than anything that we have to grow, we have to move forward. We have to build on the positive things that we do have, and that's the only thing we can do. Whether we create our own momentum and energy. And that's where we've got to make sure that that isn't lost.
NFL, the Packers host the Bears Sunday at Lambeau Field. The Bears have won 5 in a row and are in first place after beating the Eagles.
In the NFC North, it's a tight race. There's a lot of good football teams in our division, so we got to come out here and handle business.
That's Packers quarterback Jordan Love with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
Parallel parking in Madison? Impossible. Finding real conversation on the radio? Probable. With 92.7 WMDX.
We have a little light snow on the way today, less than an inch of accumulation with a high right around 24 this afternoon. A little light snow could linger into this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low dropping to around 10. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 25. Looks like we could see a little more snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it is 7.
Hey, Gordy, I gotta admit, these hearing aids from Madison Hearing Aid Center changed my life.
Mine too, John. I thought I needed subtitles to talk to my grandkids.
And these aren't those old giant clunkers we saw in the old days. It's got Bluetooth, it's rechargeable, the works.
Yeah, my phone connects straight to my ears. I'm basically a cyborg now.
Hey, you just figured out texting last year, too.
Yeah, baby steps. But I did call Madison Hearing Aid Center, and you should too. 608-249-4077.
608-249-4077. Tell them John and Gordy sent you.
This is Robert Pilot, host of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we talk about Native issues.
30 seconds left in a break.
Hey, kid, you're late.
I forgot to put the fader up.
Across Wisconsin on Civic Media, you're listening to Mornings with Pat Kreitlow, powered by Up North News. Now, from our Lake Wissota studio, here's the founding editor of Up North News, Pat Kreitlow.
Hey, good morning. It is 7:06. Nice to have you back here up north on a Monday morning. It's December 1st, and it is a cold one out there after all the snow from the weekend. Park Girls are producing things down in Madison Studio A2. And we're joined by Selena Heller, Up North News reporter out in the Chippewa Valley, and birthday girl, Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Her birthday is tomorrow. We're doing it today. So today's the party.
Celebrate all week.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
why not?
Why not? Why not,
Birthday
indeed?
extravaganza.
For sure.
Yes.
If you've
Yep.
got a December birthday, just like Jim was saying, just celebrate it, because you're probably getting robbed at some point. Everybody's thinking about the holidays, so just like celebrate it long, celebrate it hard.
Like you're just like, yep, own it. We're gonna have all of it. So anyway, so we've
It's
got
all about me. Never mind the Christmas.
And no,
it's all about me.
We've had a couple of nice folks already talking about Kristen's birthday. We'll be joined at 7:35 by Craig Gilbert, a longtime writer for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, about the latest Marquette poll showings and what they might mean for the 2026 midterms. And at 8:35, we'll be joined by Dennis Bride. Dennis is the mayor of Wauwatosa, and he has a book out about his first year in office back in 2020. It was a little crazy back then, and we'll have this 5-year look back when it was his first year as mayor. And of course, along the way, you can join us at 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. And then, of course, we've got something else new to talk about. It is our grown-up gift list text to win contest. Oh, there it is. Little sleigh bells to remind us. We figured out a way for me not to forget. So, Parker's babysitting me that way. So when you hear that sound, it means we're going to give you the keyword that you are going to be sending us through the Civic Media app. Text us a keyword that I'm about to give to you, and you will be part of this multi-station, multi-state contest. There will be daily prizes of $200 cash. There will also be 3 different grand prizes. Winners will choose from a brand new snowblower, a portable air conditioner, a stainless steel cookware set. And to get in on all of this, you just enter by, again, texting us a keyword. Until 8 o'clock. It's only during the 7 o'clock hour, and then I'll tell you all the other hours, but I better tell you the word right now. It's chill. chill, CHILL. It is definitely a chill morning. Okay, it's actually a cold morning, but it's chill. Text it to us by 8 o'clock. We'll do this again in the 9 a.m. hour, basically the odd-numbered hours, 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3, 5, and 7 p.m. Full rules at the Civic Media website. Again, this hour's word is chill. Text that to us before 8 o'clock. Use that Civic Media app. All right, let's get back to the important parts right now. It's Kristen's birthday. Here's our next guest to say hello, Dennis McBride, the mayor of Wauwatosa. Hello, Dennis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing? Happy birthday, Kristen.
Thank you, Dennis. It's so good to see you.
We've become members of each other's family, I guess, through all this. Do you know you share your birthday with Pat's wife?
Yes, Pat just called.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
tomorrow's a big day. It's almost as big as Christmas.
It is.
I think so.
One shopping day left.
That's right. Yeah. Sheesh, I didn't get you anything yet. And I've got all these catalogs. Maybe I'll get a Kringle sent your way before too long. Dennis, we're looking forward to talking to you at 8:35 about your new book.
Yes, thank you very much. I just wanted to say hi to Kristen, and she does a delightful job with her podcast, as you know.
She sure does. Well,
all right.
Thank you, Dennis.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right. How nice was that?
Yeah,
And
it was
think of all the other,
nice.
you share your birthday with so many other people. We haven't mentioned Aaron Rodgers is one of them, right?
Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones.
And Aaron Jones.
Yes.
And this guy, I believe we have somebody else you share a birthday with. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, Pat.
That would be Chad Holmes.
Chad?
Chad Holmes from 98.9 WXCO. Chad, whose birthday is also tomorrow. Good morning.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, it's like, how do I compete with Dr. Kristen Lyerly for Civic Media people on the airways birthdays? I mean, it's, you know, it's hard enough getting older, and now I have to.
It
You
is.
know, but no, I just wanted to join in and say very, very happy. And this, you're right, December 2nd. Every year, you share a birthday with Aaron Rodgers. For a while, that was actually okay, but it hasn't been the last few years.
Yeah, and I can relate. It is always cold there in her shadow, but you know, it's.
I know, but no, she does a wonderful job, and I tell you, I mean, if anybody can get Pat Kreitlow as a guest on their show, I mean,
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. That and 50 cents might get you a cup of coffee. Jeez. Chad, happy early birthday to you as well, and talk to you later in the week.
Happy birthday, Chad.
Happy birthday, Dr. Lyerly.
Oh, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Geez, you know who else would have been here in birthdays past, but is joining us on the phone? I believe Greg Bach is hanging around as well too. Greg, you on the line?
I am on the line. Good morning, everybody, and happy early birthday to Dr. Kristen Lyerly.
Oh, thank you, Greg. How are you, my friend? I always love hanging out with you in the morning.
Me too. I'm doing well. It is quite chilly down here in Kenosha, and I'm feeling a lot of love and sympathy for those who are right now shoveling their driveways.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How did your new snowblower do?
Oh, game day, peak performance.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah, we were so happy to get
Yeah.
that last year. So good. It's properly maintained and ready to go. That's awesome.
I used it 3 times this weekend, so
Oh my gosh.
good usage. So, yeah.
Oh,
Gotta stay ahead
Wow.
of it. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you, Greg, for popping in and being part of the birthday party today.
Thank you, Greg.
No problem. I'm just here to say happy birthday, and that the best babies are born in December. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah.
Yes. Confirmed.
There is that. All right. Thank you, Greg. Talk to you a little
All
later.
right. No problem.
All right.
Bye.
Look at it. People staying busy on the phones are also texting in that keyword chill for a grown-up gift list contest.
Love it.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not a birthday competition. Like Chad, let's just have a big party together. Right?
Exactly. We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, let's hold off on that invitation for a little bit longer. I have a feeling that he's gonna come around. I have a feeling like a fine wine, you know, something. It's gonna get better. Give him time.
Look at how skeptical Parker looks about this.
I have faith.
Pondering.
You never,
As a player, love him mostly.
well, okay. Maybe there's some kind of a, what was that stuff called? Ayahuasca or something?
Ayahuasca.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's the theme of
Did
our
you just
next
really
birthday
blend
party.
Hiawatha and ayahuasca together to make
Could be.
ayahuasca?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, Grandpa Pat.
Are you saying Parker?
Yesterday, Rogers, he got his nose bloodied a little, and it was really cold, and he had his jacket on, and it looked like he got beat up by his ayahuasca dealer.
Anyway, all right. So we've got all of that. Kristen, I did want to ask you one kind of semi-serious news / medical question while we've got you here. So you're not just a birthday girl. You're not just a sports analyst. You're also a doctor. And I want you to interpret, and the audio is a little tough because this was President Donald Trump on Air Force One, but he got an MRI. And again, any other president, we'd have heard about everything about this. And he got asked about it. Let's give a listen to what he said to a reporter, or to reporters, not the least of which is his tone with these reporters. Let's play it.
They asked about my MRI. MRIs are very... Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI. Will you tell us what it was Governor Walz, you mean the incompetent governor? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect. What was the rumor they It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, you want to have it released. News Nation, failing News Nation. News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it. Tell us what they were looking at. For what, releasing? No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at? I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain, because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Yeah, goodbye. If you couldn't hear some of it, he was basically, he didn't know what part of the body got the MRI. It wasn't his brain, because his brain was perfect. He passed a cognitive test. Aced it, and threw in a few insults along the way about failing News Nation, and said, if they want to release it, they can release it. They're not going to release it, Kristen.
I'll just speak as a doctor.
Yes.
Anybody who's ever gotten an MRI knows you have to fit into that tube. It is a big deal. It is very stressful for many people. If you're getting an MRI, you know why you're getting an MRI. And if you know that the results are perfect, you know what the results are then, I guess. So I think it's very concerning that not only does he not know why he was getting an MRI, but he doesn't actually know what the results are. And, as you said, Pat, this is the president of the United States. This is the leader of the free world. Any other president before this, there would be so many questions. There would be so much concern about what happens if. But with Trump, it's just dismissed, and people talk about, the News Nation quip, or this time he didn't call somebody a piggy. Everything is a distractor from what the real story is, which is his health and his mental health from a distance certainly do appear to be declining, and we should all be extraordinarily concerned about this.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Larley with us, as is Selena Heller, Up North News reporter. And we've got just a quick amount of time to play a little audio here, Selena, from one doctor who wanted to be unnamed for this segment, but was asked about the status of rural medicine. What can you tell us real quick?
Grassroots Organizing Western Wisconsin, or the organization called GROW, held an event. And this doctor from Dunn County talked about Medicaid and the importance.
All right, let's hit it.
Great example, a guy who was a farmer, kicked by a cow. This just came to me right now. Kicked by a cow. Literally, that's what my schedule said. Reason for visit, kicked by a cow. So I just can't wait for that. Horrible infection on his leg that he had actually kept under wraps for about 2 weeks. And it was now a necrotizing deep tissue infection, needed surgery like right now. I gotta go milk my cows. And it's too expensive. So what do? We set him up with outpatient IV antibiotic infusions for 6 weeks. And he kept his leg. And that's kind of the push and pull we try to do out here in rural areas where I don't have a surgeon regularly. But it was, in the end, the fear of losing what kind of relatively small and declining income he had from farming, and the hospital bills that he couldn't predict, thousands, maybe an ICU stay, which is $3,000 to $5,000 a day. That's what kept him from getting the care he needed when he needed it. Vividly remember being up all night on the phone, trying to transfer this poor, sick little old man to a tertiary referral center for something that he could have gotten at a regional hospital 30 minutes away, but they closed. So now I've got to send him to Rochester. I've got to send him to La Crosse. I've got to send him to Minneapolis. We're routinely sending people to Marshfield, the city of Marshfield, 3 hours away, at 4 a.m. Negatively impacts everything.
Needless to say, Selena, he was referencing the hospitals that closed in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. And so that will be part of a new story that Selena's working on. Look for it at upnorthnewswi.com, Up North News WI, if you're searching on social media. Live from Lake Osota, I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. Remember, our text to win word this hour, CHILL, CHILL. Text it in and you could win.
Thank you so much for capturing that story and those voices, because those are everyday people.
Yeah.
Those are people who you have these conversations over coffee, and it doesn't get elevated to the point where other people hear it's happening, because people think, oh, it's just my life experience. It does, other people aren't suffering the way that I am, but everybody is suffering like this. Everybody is making decisions not to get health care because they can't afford it. They can't afford the time. They can't afford the dollars. They don't have a facility in their area. We're stretched beyond thin. Where do we go from here?
All right, we're just going to rewind that and play it right after the commercial, and we'll be good to go for that segment.
That's on tape. Tony can use that, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Get on that, Tony. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Oh, we were so busy with all the Christmas stuff yesterday. I am trusting that my daughters are not watching, because I don't think they do, but we always have to share.
Because I don't think they do.
Because I don't think they do, because they have busy families, and it's their dad. So, it's always also not the world's biggest surprise, but their favorite thing at Christmas time is when Sherry makes peanut butter balls, and so she was rolling out all kinds of those and dipping them in chocolate, and you could take them outside and get them all nice and hard and ready to go. And yeah, so we had that, but then we had all the ornaments that we were, going through, and it was a crazy little weekend.
Oh, I have a question. What goes in the peanut butter balls? We had this conversation yesterday. My sister puts Rice Krispies in her peanut butter balls because they're so dense.
Hers is graham crackers. Graham crackers and peanut butter, and then whatever other little things. But yeah, it's a graham cracker peanut butter mixture.
Yeah. So for all the parents with young children,
30 seconds left in a break.
My gosh, the elf arrives. So
it's elf time. That's right. Okay. All right. Good deal. All right, we'll play your second tape coming up here.
15 seconds.
Parker Elfson. I think that's it for the season.
Welcome back. It is December 1st, 2025. It's a Monday morning. Selena Heller is here from Up North News. Dr. Kristen Lyerly, the early birthday girl, collecting some birthday love as well here today. But in her doctor capacity, just heard that bite we played from a rural doctor speaking at an event here in western Wisconsin about, this could happen to any farmer. It could actually happen to anybody. In this case, it was a farm incident. But these injuries that used to be seen rather quickly, easily in Eau Claire, but then you had hospitals close. You have other hospitals and clinics closing, all around Wisconsin. That story that we just played, Kristen, was not atypical.
No, these are the conversations that people are having every day in their homes. And it takes Selena to bring it to this point so that we can all hear that these are all of our conversations, whether we're talking about a farm injury or a missed screening that ends up with a cancer diagnosis or something else that we just plain can't afford. And so we're trying to make decisions about, how do we pay for this? How do we take time off from work? Who's going to help me care for my family if I experience an illness like this? These are all of our stories. And how are we going to get to that care that we need when the hospital just closed and now we have to not just travel, but travel and stay in an unfamiliar place? Our healthcare system is failing us in such a foundational way. I am hopeful that voices like Selena's and opportunities like this will help our legislators understand that we have to do better.
I sure hope so, because what's happening in healthcare is happening at the same time that the childcare industry is in a state of collapse. And, you know, my wife as well has heard patients say, I can't take time off because I don't have any options for childcare. And Selena, that leads us into our next soundbite from this doctor, just how overwhelming this all feels.
Yeah, he got emotional because he said, these are my patients and, you know, I care about them and I can't help but, you know, kind of feel for them. And he just said, you know, they don't want to be on the hook for that big bill that they know that they're going to have. So he just thinks about them all of the time and they're kind of exacerbating conditions. And so this is the doctor from Dunn County.
You know, I care about people. People are valuable. And I care too much to not say anything. I get emotional here. So people have fallen through the cracks, and more people will. Due to choices have been made. So, you know, the care that you want to be able to call your doctor, call your clinic, get the care you need when you need it. That's the kind of life that we all want. That's not in line with where things are headed. So,
no, it's definitely not. Tell us a bit more about the event and the group that was putting it on, where we were hearing from that doctor and others.
The group was called Grassroots Organizing Western Wisconsin, or GROW, GROWW, and they are a group of individuals that just get together for just different causes. This one being Medicaid and kind of working to that. Just they say, you know, we're a group of regular people. So just recently, that group also went to county board meetings, and I'll be reporting on that too. They went to different county board meetings and said, you know, a lot of these things are going to be impacting the county level. And so the county boards need to realize these things. And, you know, whether it be mental health, where sheriff's departments are going to have to take more time to respond to calls and bring patients farther, things like that. So they're just kind of going around and making people aware of the impacts that county level is going to be feeling.
Yeah, it's a system. It's a system. When you go to the doctor to have a health condition diagnosed and treated, there's only so much we can do. It's a fraction of all the other stuff that has to happen. And all that other stuff, as Pat McBride taught me, the social determinants of health are making sure that you have access to good, healthy food and clean air and a place to live and somebody to help take care of your kids. All of that other stuff is what your community provides. And that's why this is so much bigger than just a visit to your doctor's office.
Right. And from the group GROW, it was Bill Hegseth. We had him on a few weeks back talking just about these events that they're doing to raise public awareness at the local level, at the local government level as well. On Facebook from Dawn, even a dental appointment can be an hour to an hour and a half from you when you have little access to transportation and get rides from others who have to work. Access to care is important for good health. And
yes. And don't say even a dental appointment, because your dental health affects everything else. We know people who have poor dental health also have poor pregnancy outcomes. That's just one thing. So dental health is very important.
Yeah. Also from Rob in Tigerton, we'll get to another health note here. Good morning from Tigerton. Cloudy, 2 degrees right now in Tigerton. Tigerton had 5 inches of snow. I worked Saturday night and a good crunch of Sunday plowing snow. I was so tired I slept from 6:45 p.m. to 7:15 a.m. He was so tired.
Must have needed it.
And it says, I have a doctor's appointment. I injured my knee. I've got to get that checked out. So both OBGYN and now knee specialist, Kristen Lyerly, is here to underscore, Rob, yes, definitely get that checked out.
But first, rest, ice, compression, elevation, and a little ibuprofen. That's my advice.
Ibuprofen's a wonder drug. Yes, absolutely. Good. Well, Kristen, I'm glad we could get a few folks on to wish you a happy birthday ahead of time. Anything
that was
else?
A party.
Yeah. It wasn't the same as it'll never top the birthday surprise you did for me, where there was actually an old fashioned waiting in my desk drawer here.
That was Sherry. That was cool.
I know. And I was going to reach out to Craig and or your boys, and this is no knock on them. I just know that you are so crafty and nosy. I didn't think I could pull off the surprise, without you having to give them the third degree. So I will work with them some other time. To
when she least expects it.
Yes, that's right. You never know when we're doing your birthday again. Sometime in April, just cause. So
yeah, half birthday. That's what they do in school.
Yes, that's right.
You should always have a day to celebrate yourself, even if it's random. Just do it.
Just do it, right? All right, Kristen, we'll talk to you on Friday. Selena, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for everything. Hope you guys have a great start to the day.
You too.
Thank you for making it special.
You bet. When we come back, we're going to talk to Craig Gilbert about the midterms and what polling is telling us are the real headwinds for Republicans. Live from the lake, I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. I think I only sent it to Greg Bach, but you see Elton John put out a new little video about his Step Into Christmas song, which, is right up there with Paul McCartney's Christmas song of songs that are not my favorite holiday tunes. But at least he's mocking himself. He's in his pajamas. He's in the kitchen. He opens like a cupboard and part of his song comes out and he closes it. He opens up the oven and there's some more Step Into Christmas and he has to close up the oven. The song is haunting him like it haunts all of us this time of year. So,
I love that. Oh my gosh.
I know. So
thank you for a very, very nice pre-birthday day. That was really, really special.
We do what we can here. So all right, you guys, talk to you later. Have a great day.
Hey guys, happy birthday.
All right, bye. Hey Craig, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hear you just great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thanks. We've got just a little internet lag there between your camera and audio, but I think sometimes it buffers and all will be better by the time you get here.
Okay.
So we'll be good to go. So I got to pull up that Marquette poll article and we'll take it from there. Were there any other notes or developments since then that you wanted to mention? Any other articles you're working that you wanted to preview? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, it's up to you if you want to talk at all about the Democratic field for governor, which is interesting, or the upcoming Supreme Court race. Those are two things on the horizon beyond just sort of Trump and his overall standing. Okay. But any way you want to go.
Okay. No, we'll definitely hit all of that. Again, we'll be back right at 7:35, and we have to hit the break right at 7:49. So we've got about 3 minutes until we come back. I'll take you back in the waiting room so you can make whatever noise you want, and I'll see you in just a few minutes.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Association to represent even more of the industry across the state.
Grace Hall, the new executive director of the Wisconsin Agribusiness Association, the host partner for the Wisconsin Agribusiness Classic. Again, that's January 12th and 13th. Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Last year, they had more than 1,000 attendees. If you'd like to be one of the audience this year, just register today, wiagribusiness.org. Markets are next.
Veltima fungicide outyields the competition by an average of 7 bushels per acre. But you've never been average. The only competition that really matters is you versus you. And with the performance of Veltima fungicide from BASF, you can take your best results even further. Beat your own record. Get every bushel you deserve. And make this your best season yet with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Right now, it looks like a little softer start on a Monday morning in the grain complex. Currently, our December corn is down 2 at 4.33. March corn down 2 at 4.46. January soybeans are down 3 at 11.35. July wheat, that's currently down 3.5 at 5.51. December class 3 milk that goes into cheese, right now up 11 cents at 15.98 a hundredweight. I'm PM Yankee.
Your neighbors are talking. Leaders are deciding. Madison's story unfolds daily on 92.7 WMDX.
We have a little light snow on the way today, less than an inch of accumulation with a high right around 24 this afternoon. A little light snow could linger into this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low dropping to around 10. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 25. Looks like we could see a little more snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. It is 8 degrees outside right now.
I'm Rick Smith, host of The Rick Smith Show. If you're looking for honest talk, real stories, and straight-up news that matters to you, tune in to The Rick Smith Show. We're digging into the issues that affect your job, your family, your future. Join me weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network, because your voice deserves to be heard. That's The Rick Smith Show, heard weeknights at 9 right here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds.
We'll be back in 30 seconds.
$7:35 is the time right now on this Monday morning, December 1st. Nice to have you here. Again, the grown-up gift list text to win contest is back on, and the hour's word is chill, CHILL. Use that Civic Media app and text that to us before 8 o'clock. You'll be in the running for, there goes that reminder now to give that word, chill. Give that word by 8 o'clock, and then you'll have chances to play at 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7 all throughout the day here on Civic Media stations. Each time there's a different keyword texted in. One of those entries from throughout the day is drawn for a $200 cash prize, and then there will be, every entry is in the running for the grand prizes as well. Head over to the Civic Media website for details. Craig Gilbert has been writing about politics and everything that goes along with it from Washington, D.C. and elsewhere for 35 years, 25 of them with the Journal Sentinel's Washington Bureau. He's now a fellow at the Marquette University Law School's Lubar Center for Public Policy Research and Civic Education. He had an article in the Journal Sentinel a few days back about what a national Marquette poll shows about what could happen to the Republicans in the midterm in 2026. But we have other races in 2026 to talk about as well. A state Supreme Court race in April, and of course a governor's race in November of next year. And Craig Gilbert joins us now. Craig, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. It's nice to be with you.
It's nice to have you here as well. Thank you so much. So let's start with the article that you'd written for the Journal Sentinel about the national poll. And I know most folks are familiar with the Marquette poll of Wisconsin voters, but they do national polling as well. And look, Donald Trump has been able to essentially defy gravity in so many ways in politics. But what I know from the midterms and special elections in his first term and in this term as well, Craig, is that he can't defy the gravity of public opinion polling when it reaches a certain point, at least how it affects all of the other Republicans around him. Does that bear out in the latest Marquette national poll as well?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of red flags for Republicans in all the national polling, not just the Marquette poll, but in our poll, just a few highlights. He's down in the low 40s in approval rating on the issues that people really care about, which is the economy and cost of living. He's down below that. In fact, on inflation, he's in the 20s among voters, his approval rating. Democrats seem more energized, Democratic voters, than Republican voters. The intensity of Republican support for the president is kind of declining, and among independents, and these are the most independent voters, the true independents, he's in the 20s, which is a really bad place to be. The classic trap for parties in power in midterms is, you get swing voters swing back against you, and then you kind of lose the turnout war with the party out of power. And so those two things are possibilities. They're real prospects that Republicans face next fall. It's still almost a year away.
Yes, it is. Craig Gilbert's our guest here. And, again, it's not Donald Trump who's on the ballot, but he saw the midterm losses in his first term. And so it would seem to me the lesson for Republicans whose names are on the ballot in 2026 might be to put at least a little separation, a little daylight, show a little independent streak between you and the president. But that is really not an advisable Republican campaign strategy if you want to avoid something like a primary, is it?
Yeah, and again, that's another kind of trap that Republicans face. I mean, you're starting to see a few glimmers of that sort of distancing in Washington. There are a few issues where you're starting to hear at least a handful of Republicans distance themselves from the president, or at least take positions in contrast to the president. I don't know how much more of that we're going to see, for the reason you said, which is that if you get too independent and too defiant, then you get the full weight of Donald Trump against you, potentially in a primary. But just to expand the view a little bit on the midterms, I mean, it's not just the polling that's kind of a red flag. It's also just history. I mean, history suggests that almost always the party in power loses ground in the midterm. So that's what you would expect to happen. And also all these off-year elections we've had, including starting with the big court election in Wisconsin in April, which normally you wouldn't see as a significant barometer, but we had 50% turnout in that election. That election became more nationalized than any court election we've ever seen. So in that sense, I think it's just as big a barometer as the New Jersey and the Virginia elections were in November, where Democrats won in Democratic states, but they won by bigger margins than you would have expected.
We're talking to Craig Gilbert about what's happening, or what could happen in the 2026 election cycle. And we'll also be talking about voter turnout shortly with Maria Haskins from the Wisconsin Native Vote as well. I mean, there are so many different groups that are focused more than ever on turnout in these races. And so you mentioned the state Supreme Court race, Craig, and, while this time around control of the court is not necessarily up for grabs, but I think we've really established a culture in Wisconsin of people understanding that you can't just wave off the April elections, and especially state Supreme Court elections. I can be wrong, of course, but I feel like Wisconsin voters might be as plugged into state Supreme Court races as almost any place else.
Well, I think that's undeniably true. I mean, again, going back to last April, which was a crazy race. I mean, you had Elon Musk spending all this money. You had the conservative candidate for the court ending his advertising campaign with Donald Trump. Obviously, you had Democrats running against Donald Trump in this race. But again, 50% turnout. I mean, that's a good turnout for governor in a lot of American states. And you had this kind of turnout in a nonpartisan judicial race in the spring. That's really mind-boggling. So that tells me what you said just now is absolutely true, which is that people are turning out for these races because they become so partisanized and so politicized. They're starting to turn out for these races almost at the level they would turn out in a midterm fall partisan race. And so it's going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to get 50% turnout in the next Supreme Court election, because we're not going to have the same, probably not the same level of spending. The control of the court's not at stake, but it's a big deal because obviously it's a conservative seat that's up. So if the liberal candidate, if the pattern continues and there's another liberal victory in the court, that means that Republicans won't have an opportunity to take back the court for several years. And so the long-term consequences are pretty huge.
Talking to Craig Gilbert, political analyst with Marquette University's Lubar Center for Public Policy Research and Civic Education, longtime Milwaukee Journal Sentinel writer. And then so let's wrap with the big one for 2026 here in Wisconsin, the race for governor. How likely is it that the field of Democratic candidates is going to grow in the very near future?
Well, it sounds like there's a real chance Mandela Barnes gets in the race. Again, I think that's an interesting move, and it'll be very interesting to see how Democrats, Democratic activists, and Democratic voters respond to that, because he would instantly become the best known candidate in the Democratic field. But he's in this interesting position of having lost a big statewide race in his bid to unseat Ron Johnson for the U.S. Senate in 2022. And, there's two ways to interpret his performance in that race. And one is not so flattering, and one is a little more forgiving. And the more forgiving one is that he almost beat an incumbent senator, which nobody did in that cycle, no Democrat. And the not so flattering one is that he lost a winnable race. Ron Johnson was a truly vulnerable incumbent who had, persistently negative poll ratings, and Democrats sort of missed an opportunity to defeat him in that race. So Democratic primary voters are going to be really, really interesting to watch next year. I mean, I'm fascinated by what's going to happen, because it's always interesting to see how much in a primary voters in a given party are assessing electability, which is a very subjective thing, and how much they're just responding to whether the candidates, energize them, their message, and they're responding to who the candidate is and what the candidate is saying. And so Democratic, again, this is a very winnable race for Democrats. I mean, we're coming off 8 years of a Democratic governor, but also divided government through that entire time. Again, a Republican president, you would normally expect the party out of power to have a real advantage running for governor in that scenario, and almost all the time the party out of power wins those races for governor, which in this case would be the Democrats. So it's a very winnable race for Democrats, but the question is their candidate up to the task?
Yeah, there will be no counting chickens this time around. Craig Gilbert is a must-read, and the Journal Sentinel has been for decades, and we really appreciate your analysis on this. We're going to talk to a group that's organizing some of these voters even as we speak. Craig, I hope we can catch up throughout the cycle. Thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely, and anytime. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Craig. And let's turn now to Maria Haskins from Wisconsin Conservation Voters and a Wisconsin Native Vote regional tribal organizer to talk a bit more about the political environment here. Maria, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? I'm well.
Good. It's so nice to have you here to tell us. Well, you heard the setup there about 2026, and certainly we know what 2025 has been like for politics. Do you worry that people are kind of going to burn out on politics, or that they're going to be more motivated than ever to express themselves next year?
I think that there's going to be more people who are going to be out expressing themselves, just because when we had the spring 2025 elections, we had a huge voter turnout that happened during then. So I think this upcoming election, I think that more people are feeling a bit more passionate about the things that they care about, and I think that they'll make it to the polls this year.
Yeah. Would you... do you have one or two particular issues? I mean, there's so many. There's affordability. There's just, Donald Trump overall. You've got the Wisconsin governor's race. Obviously, there's your areas of focus. What do you think will be most motivating to voters?
Sure. Well, on a nonpartisan standpoint and bringing some of those issues up, I think that we have done a lot of work on things like the Right to Know campaign, which was making sure that Wisconsin residents have access to clean drinking water. So we've done a lot of work on that. We've done some work on the opioids issue. We know that opioids affect all communities in Wisconsin. And while we don't have a campaign going on that, we do have some petitions that are going around where we are asking people to sign so that we can make sure that we have equitable access to those resources. And then recently over in Menominee, there was a Supreme Court election maybe it wasn't Supreme Court, but it had to do with the Legend Lake issue that's going on, some tribal sovereignty. So those are some issues that people are really taking a look at right now.
We're talking to Maria Haskins. She's our guest. She is a Wisconsin Native Vote Regional Tribal Organizer and with Wisconsin Conservation Voters. And we are talking about the lay of the land here for the 2026 campaign. Again, a reminder as we go to break here that our keyword is chill in the grown-up gift list text to win contest. You only have about 10 more minutes to get on your Civic Media app. Text us the word chill, and then your next chance to play will be during the 9 a.m. hour. Live from Chippewa Falls, I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. All right, Maria. Sorry for the delay. We had Craig Gilbert booked as well. Are you able to stick around for a few extra minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And then just let me do the same with you. Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
Knock my camera over. All right, we're good.
Nope, you're okay. You look good. I'm going to have Maria stick around for a couple more questions. You okay standing by there? And then I'll come up to you after a couple of minutes.
I am good doing whatever you want to do, man.
I figured you would. You've had a busy one. So here, you get to nap for like 3 more minutes.
Nice.
Keep up with your sleep or catch up. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. And Maria, this break ends in just under 2 minutes. I'll talk to you back in the waiting room. Oh, wait, before I forget, because I was just looking up. I know the last note here was if you had any specific events, legislation, calls to action, is there anything coming up that we should be talking about for conservation voters?
Yeah, we have some spring dinners that we're planning right now for 2026, where we will be educating people in the community about the importance of voting in the Supreme Court election. During that time, we also have somebody from the Native American Rights Fund who comes and presents and speaks to the community. And so we also bring other organizations to help co-host those events. And yeah, they're typically a pretty good turnout. We will have them this year again in Milwaukee, Menominee, and somewhere up north. I don't know if it's going to be in Bad River or Lac du Flambeau. I think they're shooting for maybe LCO actually.
Okay.
So yeah, we have we're also doing a lot of events that involve youth. So we'll be looking to plan some things that will get some youth involvement this coming year.
Awesome. Okay. We'll do all that after the break, and then we'll set you free, and we'll bring Jimmy in to do some sports, and that'll wrap up our hour. So stand by.
Great.
We will get going in about 90 seconds here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, election lawyers Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and Kenneth Chesbrough, all the fake electors, and the Coffee County election machine tampering suspects. In his 21-page justification, Skandalakis suggested it may be 2029 before President Trump could be prosecuted, and separately prosecuting Trump's election lawyers would be, quote, both illogical and unduly burdensome and costly for the state and for Fulton County. For the fake electors and tampering suspects, Skandalakis concluded there was no evidence of criminal intent. We've linked the prosecutor's justification at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Aho, this is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we share stories from Turtle Island highlighting the people and issues shaping our communities. From protecting water to treaty...
30 seconds until we're back.
Jimmy Kuska is standing by, Civic Media Sports Director, to talk about a busy holiday weekend in sports. We will get to that first. Before we get back to our guest, Maria Haskins, a reminder that you've got about 6 more minutes to text in the word chill, CHILL. That's the keyword for this hour for day 1 of the Grown Up Gift List contest. Among all of today's entries, one will be plucked out for a $200 cash prize every day. And everybody's in the running for some terrific grand prizes as well. Head to civicmedia.us to learn more. Your next chance to win will be during the 9 a.m. hour. All the odd-numbered hours, 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7. Get a chance to play, text in that keyword, and be a winner. Maria Haskins is here joining us, and we are talking from Wisconsin Conservation Voters, and she is a Wisconsin Native Vote Regional Tribal Organizer. Maria, can you tell us a bit? We were talking about some of the issues that are setting things up for 2026. What are you doing in terms of planning some events that can help inform and motivate people for the 2026 elections?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing canvassing this year. So typically we do canvassing every year. So we're always building teams of people within communities to go knock on doors, to educate people about voting, see if they need to register to vote. We're also going to be planning our spring dinners. So we call those our food for thought dinners. We have one in Milwaukee, one in Menominee, and then one will be hosted further north in Wisconsin. I think this one coming up may be in Lac du Flambeau or Le Coup de Ré. And during that time, we have a guest from the Native American Rights Fund, Allison Nesswood. She's a senior staff attorney who works with Native American Rights Fund, and she helps us educate people in the community about the importance of, voting in the Supreme Court. And just some of those examples that we typically give people are, the Supreme Court is, responsible for, voting district maps and COVID-19 emergency orders and, different environmental protections. And so typically when people are finding those things out, like, oh, wow, that's really important because I care about, these things over here in this region, that will typically drive people to the polls. And then in our 2026 plans, we have a lot that we're trying to do to have some youth involvement. So, co-hosting or partnering with different youth groups on different things where we can educate those who are emerging to become voters. So, sometimes that might be working with the schools, things like that. So we can capture people as soon as they're turning 18 so they can make it to the poll.
Very important to do so. And there's so many reasons why people could be motivated for conservation voters, not the least of which is, as you said, private well owners have a right to know what's in their water and whether your legislature is working for or against that. So, Maria, I hope you'll come back and join us again. We'll talk more in depth about issues like that and more, but you can learn more at conservationvoters.org. Maria Haskins, thank you again for your time today.
Miigwech, have a good day.
You as well. All right, let's bring in Jimmy Koska, Civic Media Sports Director. What a crazy busy Thanksgiving weekend here, starting with the Packers. I mean, it went all the way through. Parker's already spent a lot of time bemoaning Whitewater's loss in football, but you spent a lot of time watching D3 football, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to broadcast Platteville's game in their victory, I should add, as the WIC went 3-1 in the second round of the NCAA tournament. A lot of snow games. I think we had a foot of snow in Platteville, so it was fun, a little cold, but fun to be able to broadcast a legit snow game in the middle of a winter storm. That was a blast.
Yeah, no doubt. Parker, you doing any better now? 2 hours later?
Not much.
He started the show in a real funk, I got to tell you. Yeah. Well, it was the way that it happened again. It was the interception on the drive that could win the game again.
Yeah, it happens. I'm getting used to it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it helped or hurt watching the Vikings rookie quarterback basically do the same thing during that game. Oh, boy, Jimmy, the Vikings. People thought they were having a good start to the year, but, boy, the wheels fell off that bus in a hurry.
Yeah, and it shapes up well for the Packers. They get them in the final game of the regular season, so that's one of those. You looked at the schedule going into this part of the year, and you're thinking, wow, the Bears, the Lions, the Bears twice, the Lions, the Vikings, Broncos, Ravens. You're thinking, wow, this is going to be a tough stretch, but that's one game. It's still a rivalry division game, but. With the things that they have going on at quarterback, that could be an issue. Do you think, though, that everything sets up extremely well for the Packers because they control their own destiny in terms of the NFC North? They play the Bears twice in the next 3 weeks, and that includes this Sunday, a game that was flexed to a later start time. The Bears are currently the number 1 seed in the NFC, so there's a lot at stake coming up on Sunday.
Yes, and again, that game flexed to 3:25. It's no longer a noon game, 3:25. So coverage will begin at 1:00 on Sunday afternoon. Speaking of snow globe games, you had the Badgers losing in Minnesota, 17-7, and I noted earlier how at one point the Badgers had a 14-game winning streak over the Gophers in football. They've now lost 5 of the last 8 and finishing 4-8. This year. They've missed a second straight bowl season after making 22 in a row, and it's the most number of losses since they went 1-10 back in 1990. These are not the glory days of Badger football.
Yeah, things, that's just what happens in football, sports, whatever. I mean, you go up, you go down. Badgers are certainly on the down right now. And I think the biggest disappointment, in addition to losing the rivalry game, is that had they won, they had a very slim chance of maybe sneaking into a bowl game at 5-7. So there was a little hope that they could get that extra, month of practice or whatever. But it's over. The Badgers are focused now on trying to retain some of, I think, their 14 commits for next year. So that is where things lie with the Badgers.
Yeah, the Badger men's basketball team, they host Northwestern on Wednesday night. The women's basketball team hosts Michigan State on Sunday. The men's hockey team is at Notre Dame this coming weekend. The women's hockey team travels to Ohio State on Friday. The Badger women's volleyball team, they learned in their selection show yesterday they are a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, so they will host first and second round matches. They will be playing Eastern Illinois on Thursday night, and then finally, while the Bucks got back on track, beating Brooklyn on Saturday, they're in Washington tonight to face the Wizards. Giannis topped 21,000 points in his career, the 42nd player ever to score that many, and the 6th youngest ever to hit that mark. So in closing, Jimmy, Giannis, he's still good.
Giannis good. Badgers women's sports very, very good. I think the women's hockey team just scored again. So
that is truly the glory years for this team. Jimmy Kuska, thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll be back with much more in our 8 o'clock hour on the Civic Media Radio Network. There we go. Whoo, we got
17-2. That's incredible.
17. Okay, I was wondering what that final ended up being. I lost track at 13.
Oh my
God.
God.
It was a lot. Anyway, appreciate you guys. It's after calling 4 college basketball games at a football game this weekend. I'm here, but
we know how crazy it is. We'll see you on Wednesday.
See ya.
Get some rest. See ya.
Thanks, Jimmy. See ya.
On the boat. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say Hegseth may have violated international law. Hegseth defending his order, saying the intent is to stop lethal drugs, destroy narco boats, and kill the narco terrorists who are poisoning the American people. Biden coddled terrorists, we kill them. Some experts argue even if Hegseth did not order that second strike, it may still be a violation of the laws of war.
ABC's Perry Russum. Sunday was one of the busiest travel days of the year, thanks to the high volume of travel and the nasty weather conditions that accompanied it. U.S. and Ukrainian officials talking for 4 hours in Florida on Sunday. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff leaves for Russia today to speak with Vladimir Putin. This is ABC News.
From the Capitol to your kitchen table, Madison's biggest stories live right here on 92.7 WMDX.
For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. Cooks are prepping, baking, chopping, and dicing as the Thanksgiving feast nears. No one wants food poisoning on a holiday weekend, so Morgan Peterson, environmental health specialist with the Winnebago County Public Health Department, recommends keeping food safety top of mind, starting with the basics. Hand washing.
Washing your hands, that's always the biggest thing we want to push, especially during this season in general, cold season, all of that. Washing your hands for a full 20 seconds, having the kids that you're cooking with wash their hands for a full 20 seconds as well.
Beware of cross-contamination.
What you kind of see in a lot of home kitchens, especially when you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, is not knowing where raw items are being placed and not knowing that you need to, completely clean and sanitize that area, especially when you're working with turkey or...
Peterson recommends using household bleach to sanitize surfaces, sinks, and utensils. Her next piece of advice is to use your meat thermometer.
I take a temperature of the turkey in like the thickest part, like of the breast of the turkey or somewhere like that. That's where you'll get that true internal temperature of the meat.
Speaking of getting food up to temperature and keeping it safe, Peterson said managing a buffet is as simple as keeping the hot foods hot and the cold foods cold, and then refrigerate foods that have been sitting out for 2 hours.
We do recommend kind of the 2-hour timeline, especially for items that should be, cold held or kept below 41. Usually 2 hours leaving it out, but make sure it gets into the fridge within that timeline is fine.
Peterson added, food can easily harbor bacteria that can make people sick when it enters the danger zone between 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Check out the infographic on the Winnebago County Public Health Department social media pages for Thanksgiving tips and tricks. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. For news anytime, civicmedia.us.
Is Pat on the line?
For the pack. Hi, I'm
Hey, Pat.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we?
Yes, John and Gordy all the
indeed.
time.
Well, it's
24/7.
Yep. It is going to keep that up. It's going to be, and now it's time for John and Gordy on the 8s.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man.
Yep. Oh well.
Okay. Let's see, John. You either need to move over, or I need to move the camera. Hang on. Let's see. Push it a little bit that way.
Okay, there we go.
That'll work.
All right.
Okay. Good deal.
All right. Well, we had quite the discussion about the snowfall over the weekend.
Oh,
Pat.
that's right. You guys got way more. So yeah, we'll start
Yeah,
there. That is true.
And then, of course, the snowblower action thing that I have going.
John
now.
had all kinds of problems with his snowblower.
I did.
Ooh, did you? Okay.
Did.
Now he wants a new one.
I want a new one. And
Was this
we
one
got a
electric?
few people. No, a few people suggested what I should buy, and you know what? They nailed it. They sold me.
John is a consumer.
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's always
An
buying
important-
something new.
An important cog in the local economy. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, but oh God, I make impulse buys every once in a while, Pat, and it's
Tell
not a
him
good
about
thing.
the AI glasses.
No, I know.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm at the point now where it's like I have to pause on that because Sherry will say, you could put that on a list and get it from one of your daughters or something. I'm like, oh, that's right. Yep. So careful what you wish for. My wish list just grows and grows and grows when you pause my buying. But oh well, at least I'll get what I want.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Right?
It's about time I get what I want.
that's right. I got to use those credit card points for something. So
Sure.
what the heck? All right, 45 seconds and we'll get
All
to it.
right. Okay.
$30 left in a break.
Kid nailed it again. He's so good.
Across Wisconsin on Civic Media, you're listening to Mornings with Pat Kreitlow, powered by Up North News. Now, from our Lake Wissota studio, here's the founding editor of Up North News, Pat Kreitlow.
Along with our friends John and Gordy, who are here, Parker Olson producing things down in Madison Studio A2. And you can hear John and Gordy over there in Madison Studio A1 weekdays from 6 to 8 on our station Madison. And then again, I think every hour on the hour or something like that across the Civic Media Radio Network. No, what's the current afternoon shift?
2 to 5.
2 to 5.
Last
yes.
time we checked, yeah.
Yes. Well, careful. Don't look at your inbox. That might have been
We've now
adjusted
christened
here.
this the John and Gordy studio. but
As
it's no
well
more
it should
A1,
be.
A2 or whatever you say there.
Yep. Let's just go to the John and Gordy studio. That makes
Or the
perfect sense.
John and Gordy station is what it is.
It's becoming that, yes, very much so. Coming up in half an hour, we'll be talking to Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride. He's got a new book out about a tumultuous 2020, his first year in office, events and everything that was happening in Tosa during that troubled time. Jane Matnair joins us before the hour is up as well. And along the way, you can join us at 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Our question of the day, is Cyber Monday still a thing? Are you still buying stuff online, especially on Cyber Monday? We'll talk to John about his online buying habits in just a bit. But first, we got to get to the snow, which I actually haven't said much about here because, I mean, we were on the edge of it. So we got about 4 inches here. So, had to get the snow blower out. I had not checked it out ahead of time. So it took many rounds, even with an electric start, because it had, the old gas in there and the oil and everything. And eventually it banged like, the old Model Ts, the jalopies, where you had to crank the engine literally with a crank and then it would bang and sputter. And
wow.
That's exactly what happened. But it did finally work. But that was just the 4 inches here. Madison, did I see right? 12 inches there?
Yes.
About 12. Yeah,
Right.
12.4 inches, I believe, in this area. Okay. Unbelievable. Yeah.
How'd you do with that?
I think the worst place was Fort Atkinson. I think they might have had a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I had to do it in 2 shifts, basically. After Friday, they had to go out there on Saturday, do half of it. And then, of course, the other half came and dumped Saturday night. And then Sunday morning was a disaster. I was pushing snow. I wasn't blowing snow
Yeah,
anymore.
you
I
had
was
a little
pushing
trouble
it.
with your snowblower.
And that's the problem. I have a snow blower that doesn't blow snow anymore. It just pushes it.
So you just have a big, heavy shovel.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just crazy. It really is. I've had it. The thing is, I have been, waiting year after year after year for dry snow again. We're not getting dry snow anymore. That's it. It's all wet snow from now on. So I've got to get a different snow blower that can handle that kind of stuff. I took some calls on that, and somebody appealed to what I really prefer, and that is battery operated devices now.
Yes.
Instead of the gasoline. And somebody suggested an Ego. That's a brand, Ego. And I have a Ego lawnmower. So all you have to do is get one of those. They said it worked wonders. It lasted. They get 2 batteries with that, and the battery should be about an 80 volt. So keep in mind the battery, the better it is, the more power you have, the longer it lasts. I didn't think a battery operated snowblower would work. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of power. I mean, you really need power and for a long period of time.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, you got these electric cars now, battery powered, and yet they're going 0 to 60, faster than they ever have before. So,
yes,
I mean, you can do it, and you would know, being the EV owner that you are.
I am. Yes.
By the way, it's not. Well, does this mean that big, massive, Buc-ee's size charging station that you got for your garage, will you be using that for your snowblower next? And can the rest of the neighborhood come plug into this thing?
Wow, that'd be kind of cool, but no.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that.
I could be wrong, but I mean, the stories make it sound like it's another 3 Mile Island in the waiting, just inside that garage, this thing that you've put in.
Well, some of our listeners were offering you some other advice with your current snowblower, like put some Pam or Crisco on your snowblower blades,
WD-40.
WD-40.
Coat the inside of the snowblower container so snow wouldn't stick to it.
Right.
But I think
tried that.
I haven't tried. I've never tried that. But I've had it with this snowblower. I'm done.
You're ready to buy another one.
I am so done with this thing. Oh God.
Ours was definitely wet and heavy to move it. Although I have to say, although you have to go a little bit slower as a result, it is a nice alternative to when it's really light and fluffy. And I know you can move the spout either way and everything, but it just feels like you never get it quite right to avoid getting a face full of snow.
Yeah.
It catches the wind just so and nails you. At least with the wet, heavy stuff, it just like plop, just goes over there and gets out of your way.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
You never know what we're going to get at any given point here. And there was a range of snowfalls all around the state. Now we get the cold weather because, people mostly would be today like, oh, it's December. It's December? I can't believe December snuck up on us, which is impossible because it's the same day every year. But today is very December-like. We have had some below zero temperatures in the state.
I can't remember a time when we had snow this early. maybe 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong on that, but I truly think we normally get our first snowfall about April or May.
No, it's not that late.
No.
Oh, no.
It does get all over. And again, we get such a range. I mean, look, the next several days look very cold here all across Wisconsin. But, and I haven't looked at the long range forecast, but I'm just saying that in years past, it would not be out of the ordinary that between now and Christmas, that there is some kind of a warm up, and then you get all the, hey, is it going to be a brown Christmas kind of stories? Because, I mean, newsrooms live for this kind of stuff. So
sure,
it could happen,
It could.
Uh-huh. How was your Thanksgiving weekend?
Pretty uneventful for me. I just went over to my sister's house, who doesn't live all that far away from me, 20, 30 minutes. And but that's where we gathered the family and checked in on everybody. But no fighting broke out, no discussions of politics.
Our producer had a very interesting event happen to
What
him
happened to Dom?
over the Thanksgiving. Oh, Dom.
Dom, you can get on mic here and tell us.
Oh, this is Dom, John and Gordy's producer.
Yes.
Hey,
yes. How's it going, guys? Wow, this is I'm honored. I'm honored here.
Well, don't be too honored. They didn't think you were worthy of a camera, so I mean, we can't see you like we can Parker. So you got that.
There we go.
Oh,
There
hey,
we
look
go.
at this.
There he is.
How's it going, everybody?
I thought Parker maybe had sabotaged it. There's only one producer allowed on camera here.
I mean, that camera has been wigging out lately, so maybe I was trying.
Things could happen. So, Dom, what happened?
Yeah, so basically I was going from Chicago to West Bend, Wisconsin, about 2.5 hours on the expressway. I think it was Saturday morning. So when it was, hitting snow pretty good, it was already about 5-6 inches in. And I was driving and I did a complete 360 on the expressway.
Ooh.
And I ran right into a barrier.
Oh.
And and my wheel was completely destroyed. I had to put on a spare and it was a whole thing, but I was Tokyo drifting on the freeway. It was crazy.
No. Well,
Tell
thank
them how
goodness you're
fast
okay.
you were going.
How fast were you going, Dom?
60, 65.
Well, congratulations. You've lost all the sympathy I was about to give you.
Yeah, 360.
That was, and again, I'm sorry that you went through this. That was really dumb, Dom. That was just, I mean.
I know. I've been told from my parents, John and Gordy, and now Pat too.
No. The dumb thing was that you told the truth.
Yeah.
You tell people, I was doing 15. I was being so careful.
20,
I knew. Nice of you to confess like this. I mean, gosh, you're right up there with Kristi Noem and Pete Hegseth. Let's just confess to our crimes in public and consequences be damned. But you did. So is there going to be do you have to go to a body shop now? Or?
I do. Yes. This whole week's just trying to fix up my back bumper and make sure everything's good with my car now. Cause I don't really know what's going to go on this next week with it, but I need new tires. I need new tires for sure.
Okay. To get to the station then, properly, I mean, are we working out a ride share right now with Parker? Should we just do this now? Parker, are you charging a certain fee as an Uber for him or?
Hey, if you can pay me, I'll get you.
If you can pay me.
Yeah, how did you get to the station this morning?
I still drove. It still can drive.
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's just pretty beat
That's
up.
wild.
It looks
can
bad.
Still drive.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Dom used a Fast and Furious reference to Tokyo Drift.
That's right. He did. I mean, this is not unexpected for him. No. Guys, our question of the day is whether Cyber Monday is still a thing. And then we just kind of get into shopping habits, people who are really early, people who are really late. Are you just kind of right in the middle with everybody else here? Or will you get online today because there's still some kind of mega deals?
I'm done. I did all my shopping. That was it. I spontaneously bought a pair of AI glasses.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's for yourself, right?
Well, yeah, but it's
what about
for
your
myself.
shopping for the rest of the family?
No, I don't.
Oh, he doesn't do
You don't
that.
get anything,
No, 'tis the season, for me. It's gifts for me, from me to me. What do these things
adult, that's
do?
what you do. That's what you do. You buy the
what are
things you
these
want.
glasses supposed to do?
Well, I wanted to test them out on the show. They are AI glasses. The microphone is just under the ear, so the headphones can actually supply the audio. And if people had a question during our phone calls or something like that, they could get an answer. I could give them an answer immediately.
You could see
with with my glasses, it projects the AI information on my lens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, as we've learned, may or may not be true. But I mean, just because, again, what's the old line? You can get things fast or cheap or good, but not all three of them.
Not all three.
Yeah. So anyway, I bought them, and then I changed my mind, and I canceled the order within 24 hours. You had to do that if you're getting prescription glasses, which I did. And
oh my gosh,
and
they were prescription ones
yeah,
too.
Yes.
Do you just sign over a week's paycheck? I mean, that's not a blue light special at all.
Actually, it was last week's paycheck. So anyway, and I canceled it, but they all of a sudden sent me another email that said your glasses are on the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm thinking, well, wait a minute here. I've got proof. I've got email proof that I did what I had to do within 24 hours to cancel my order. We'll see. It's not that big a penalty, but I don't know.
Okay.
I have second thoughts about believing the AI that is on my glasses, as you have mentioned. You can only believe some of it. You got to fact check most of it.
Gordy, getting back to the essence of the question, gifts
Oh,
for
yeah.
other
Oh, yes.
other people.
Yeah. Oh, yes, other people.
Are
That's
you
right.
are you underway with your own shopping?
No, I always wait till the last minute. I don't do any Cyber Monday. I don't do any of this crazy Black Friday stuff. I wait until
you have to pay the most money. That's a great plan.
No. Well, I don't have a whole lot of people to shop for, so I just I go maybe the day before, a couple of days before Christmas. And the shelves are mostly empty, so it makes it a lot easier to choose.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
There's not a lot you can find at Quick Trip.
Exactly.
Right?
I don't worry about it.
Tony writes on YouTube, if they cancel and they send it, I think you get it for free. No, Tony,
Whoa.
I don't think it works that way. I think there's extradition involved at that point for theft. But all right, so we will follow the saga of John's AI glasses and whether they're free or not in the coming days here. Listen to John and Gordy weekdays statewide across the Civic Media Radio Network, and of course mornings on our station in Madison. Thank you guys very much. Have a good start to the week.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks,
Same
Pat.
to you.
All right. Still ahead, we are going to be talking to Eau Claire City Council President Emily Berge and Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride and Jane Matinair. All ahead. Live from Lake Wissota, I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. All right, there we go. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right, Pat.
All right.
Thank you.
See you. Thanks.
Take care.
There's Emily. Hey, Emily, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for getting back to me right away. Appreciate that.
Sure. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got about 2 minutes left in this break, and then we'll be going right up until 8:30. So I'll get back with you in just a couple of minutes here.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thanks.
"30 seconds left in a break."
Welcome back. We are coming up on 8:23 here on this Monday morning, December 1st. Nice to have you along. And I'm joined by Eau Claire City Council President and candidate for Congress, Emily Berge, as well, because very early this morning, Emily made an announcement which, you know, when I tell you that and I don't tell you anything else, it could have gone one of two ways, dealing with either the congressional race or her duties as City Council President. It turns out it is the latter of those, Emily. You are not running for a new term as City Council President, right?
That's correct. After 8 years, it's time to step up to Congress. So
Okay. And that is to focus on your congressional campaign.
correct. Yep.
Okay. Well, at this point in the 3rd Congressional District, there will be a Democratic primary at this point with Emily Berge and Rebecca Cook. And so, Emily, I was looking back at the past couple of elections since Ron Kind's retirement. And as we know, in 2022, Brad Paff emerged from that primary with about 40% of the vote over Rebecca Cook, Deb McGrath, and Mark Newman. And then 2 years ago, there was a primary as well. That one involved Rebecca Cook getting 50% of the vote, Katrina Shanklin about 42%, and Eric Wilson 8%. Now in this one, of course, Rebecca Cook is running again. Laura Benjamin had been a candidate, but then dropped out of the race. So at this point, it is again going to be a contested Democratic primary. What's going to make the difference this time, Emily, with you running in this primary and taking on Rebecca Cook, who is now in her 3rd try for this race? How's this primary going to be different and lead to something other than Derek Van Orden winning a 3rd term?
Right. Which is the ultimate goal is to beat Derek Van Orden, which is why I'm running. I think the big difference is I have just a lot of ground support, in-district support. I've earned the support of the mayor of La Crosse, earned the endorsement of the mayor of Stevens Point, plus people know me well here in Eau Claire, so earn a lot of local officials here in Eau Claire too. And then plus just that grassroots energy that I bring. I have a ton of volunteers this early out of the election. People are asking me every day when they can door knock or canvass, which I have to say I've been in elections a lot. Been volunteering for the last 8 years or so, and I haven't heard that energy so much before. So I think I have a real ground support energy, which I do think things are different now at the national level too, that we haven't seen the last 2 primary races or general races. People are fired up this year as I'm traveling through the 19 counties in red districts, red counties. Like there are full houses and people are protesting every week. They have plans to keep going all year, all winter long. Again, we haven't seen that. I haven't seen that energy since 2016. So again, it's like I'm really tapping into that energy, riding with the people, just because that's how we're gonna win in August, and then how we're gonna win in November is just like bringing the people along. Or I'm just like lockstep with the people too.
Emily Berge is with us. She is a candidate for Congress and City Council President in Eau Claire, a role that you will not be running for re-election. So how will that work then? That the City Council President spot, that is a separate race from the rest of the City Council members, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So we all have 3-year terms. There's 1 City Council President. There's 5 at-large seats and 5 district seats. And then every year those elections are up. So this past April, the at-large seats were up. Next April, the City Council President, my position will be up, and then it'll be district seats will be up. And so I'm elected. We don't have a mayor here in Eau Claire, as people know, but I'm elected, or the City Council President is elected like the mayor at an at-large election. So, yeah.
So tell us about how you're going to look back on your years as City Council President.
Well, we've gone through a lot as a city, as a nation through the last 8 years. You know, I ran for office in 2018 after the election of Donald Trump because I felt like I had to do something. I wanted to be the change I wanted to see. I did not like the leadership of Donald Trump, what he was portraying way back then. So I ran knowing that I could bring something different with my background, being a counselor, being a mom, a local person. So that's why I stepped up way back then. And then since then, there's been, turbulent times with politics, but also there's COVID, serving on the city council through the pandemic of 2 years. I've served on the board of health during that time too, through welcoming refugees, standing up to the MAGA extremists when they came after our community with hateful and racist rhetoric. I stood up against that. And then just with the closing of the hospitals too, with Sacred Heart and St. Joe's up in Chippewa. So our community has faced real challenges, and it's really, I hope, because I've strived to really stand up and really serve the people and be protective of our community. I'm a very protective person, whether it's my kids, my clients, my community constituents. So I hope people saw that I'm not scared to stand up to racists. I'm not scared to stand up to people that, say terrible things about refugees. I'm not scared to stand up against MAGA extremists, the people that, refuse to, threatened our lives during COVID, elected officials. So I hope people see that, and I'm really proud of that leadership. And that's what I look back and I see those times. But I also see good times too. Eau Claire has seen tremendous growth. We've grown, in 2020, the last census, our census was 69,421. Now it is 74,039 people. So we have grown thousands of people in just the last 5 years, which is amazing for the state of Wisconsin, because actually the state of Wisconsin is losing people and is slated to lose 200,000 over the next 20, 30 years. However, Eau Claire is slated to grow, continue to grow. And I'm proud of that growth. And I think a lot of that has to be, the city council is really focused on positive growth, smart growth. Housing is huge. The more I've been on city council and local government, I think housing is really the economic drive that cities need.
Well, and you definitely have had practice standing up to racists, and we're actually talking to our next guest, Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride, about that as well. And so Emily Berge stepping down from the city council president role, focusing on that run for Congress. And Emily joins us on that first morning of her announcement. Emily, thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you. Nice to touch base.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yep. Have a great day. And as mentioned, we'll be talking to our Wauwatosa Mayor, Dennis McBride, who also has a new book out about his turbulent first year in office. That's coming up after this on the Civic Media Radio Network. All right. We're in break there. And so Emily, you are good to go. And Dennis, you're here. Have you two met, Dennis and Emily?
We have. Good morning.
Hi, Dennis.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Emily is one of the great unsung heroes of Wisconsin. Everybody, whenever there's a League of Wisconsin Municipalities meeting, she is front and center. Terrific. So you're gonna do well.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. It's fun that you have local government today, Pat. I love it.
Oh, well, it's both of it. It's both the local government thing, and especially after Trump's, racist piece of garbage rant on Thanksgiving. I'm glad you brought up the whole notion of, we're doing this all over again with Somali immigrants and so forth. So, Emily, I'm thankful you could come on short notice and do this.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a great day. All right.
Bye, Dennis. See ya.
All right. And Dennis, we've got familiar ground here too. So I don't know that there's anything we need to add other than everything that's in the book that you've talked about 100 times already, right?
I'm sure. Yes.
Okay. And thank you again for getting up early for Kristen's birthday. That was really nice.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. We've got about 3.5 minutes left in the break. I'll tuck you in the waiting room and see you in just a bit.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
This project is phenomenal at reducing both emotional distress and social isolation and loneliness.
McLaughlin emphasizes that there are no monetary requirements to use the community living room.
So there's no need for an appointment, no insurance, no diagnosis, no label, so to speak. It's open to all human beings that have a heartbeat and breathe.
The community living room has a brick and mortar space in Appleton, offers pop-up living rooms in libraries and other public-facing community spaces throughout the state, and virtual events. See our story at civicmedia.us for more information. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale.
Construction barrels bloom every spring. So do opinions. WMDX, guiding Madison through life's most predictable surprises.
We have a little light snow on the way today, less than an inch of accumulation with a high right around 24 this afternoon. A little light snow could linger into this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy with a low dropping to around 10. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 25. Looks like we could see a little more snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. It is 8 degrees outside right now.
Pete Schwaba.
Madison-based film critic and the CityCast Madison newsletter editor, Rob Thomas. Christmas to me is like the least sexy holiday. Like there's Halloween, kind of a sexy holiday. Maybe Valentine's Day, sweetest day, but like, I don't know, Christmas, like even Arbor Day is sexier than Christmas, I think.
Interesting.
I
don't remind me not to spend Arbor Day with you.
I get a little frisky, Rob.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
A fresh perspective on the great outdoors.
Hey, Wisconsin, you're listening to Raised in Wisco. We're now on 25 stations throughout Wisconsin, Michigan, and Minnesota. If you have got a radio or a computer or a cell phone, you can listen to us live Saturdays at 11 o'clock a.m.
Raised in Wisco with Joel Clayfish and Danielle Fairman. Find the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, it's John Peterson and Gordy Young. Tuesday morning, Matt Rothschild will be filling in for us.
And John and Gordy will be on in the afternoon all week. Join us 6 to 8 a.m. on WMDX.
Forrester.
"30 seconds until we're back."
Welcome back. We've got Dennis McBride, the mayor of Wauwatosa, standing by to talk about his new book out about the insanity that was the year 2020 and what a first-year mayor took away from lessons. Our question of the day has been, is Cyber Monday still a thing for you? And Craig notes on Facebook, Cyber Monday is only for electronics, nothing else. Black Friday is one day only, the Friday after Thanksgiving. They seem to forget this every single year. I don't think they forget it. It's a very intentional thing. I mean, President's Day sales that seem to go on for the entire month. Your Labor Day specials, again, they last a month. Whatever kind of a retail hook is out there, they're going to take advantage of it. But I wanted to know if it's still special for any of you on Cyber Monday. Also, a lot of thanks to folks who have already entered our grown-up gift list text to win contest. Now, it's not going on right now. We did it during our 7 a.m. hour. And we're going to do it again in the 9 a.m. hour with Matt Nair on air, Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, different keyword. So stick around. That'll be your next chance to text in and win. But I wanted to thank Jeff and Cleghorn for sending in a keyword to us. We got a few others along the way from Cassandra in New London, from Tom in Hartford, John in Oshkosh, Rosemary in Oliva, and Beth in Appleton, and Patty in Eau Claire. Thanks to you and all the others that we see coming through that texted in during the 7 a.m. hour. Again, be sure to look for your next chance to win at 9, then 11, and then 1, 3, 5, and 7 p.m. to enter our grown-up gift list text to win contest, a daily prize of $200 cash, and some great grand prizes as well. Details at civicmedia.us. All right, Dennis McBride was with us a little bit earlier to wish happy birthday to Dr. Kristen Lyerly, and now he joins us now as a guest to talk all about the book that he put together, A City on the Edge, about his time as a brand new mayor in Wauwatosa in 2020. I know people want to kind of forget about 2020. You cannot. That pandemic and all the unrest is going to be part of American history. And we had to very much live it at the time, especially Dennis as mayor at the time. Dennis McBride, good morning. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Your point about forgetting 2020 shows the peril in doing that. Again, the old expression is, those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. And that's actually one of the main themes of my book. If you go into the last 2 chapters, I talk a lot about how the events of 2020 still affect us and are still with us in a way. So we can chat about that. But
absolutely. I mean, it is to me that the term you hear is memory hole. That we've memory holed the pandemic. When just this morning, I saw a commercial for Paxlovid. And it was kind of giving the same old, the drug interactions can include blah, blah, blah. And I said to Sherry, my wife, I said, instead of the usual drug commercial, the announcer should say something like, hey, I know y'all want to forget, but 1 million Americans died of this, and it's still out there, and it's still killing people. You got to take it seriously. And yet, if we go back and look at 2020, one of the fights you and others had to have was to listen to science.
Exactly. In the book, I go back as well to the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 to 1920. And I talk about how science was more or less prepared for that, but human nature was not. And then we started acting exactly the same way 100 years later when COVID-19 came in. And now we're doing it again. We have a federal government that is backing away from science and coming up with goofy theories about how vaccines don't work. Vaccines got us through the pandemic. We solved that, and now we're backtracking on that. And now we have measles outbreaks everywhere. We're heading back into the insanity that we suffered from in 2020.
Oh, no doubt about that. Dennis McBride is our guest. I've gotten ahead of myself because this all happened, and we haven't gotten yet to George Floyd and the police protests and all that. But this all happens, Dennis, as you're the newly elected mayor of Wauwatosa. So why don't we get back to the very beginning before any of this happened? You thought about running for mayor and ran. It's a half tongue-in-cheek question to ask with this kind of hindsight, but why? Why'd you decide at the time?
Well, everybody asks me the same question. They say, well, when you filed your papers in December of 2019, you probably couldn't have figured out that 2020 was going to be what it was. And of course not. Nobody could have anticipated that. I make the point in literally the first paragraph. 2020 is a year we will always remember. It's one of those significant years of history that will go down forever. I was an alderman for 10 years. I was a U.S. government attorney for over 25 years. I have served at all levels of government, both as a volunteer and as an elected official. This is in my genes. It's in my makeup. I was determined to serve my hometown, and I just happened to arrive in the middle of a global pandemic, and then other things happened. We had 98 days and nights of racial protests in Wauwatosa, 40 nights at my house. We had a mass shooting at the state's busiest shopping mall. And we were a significant place in the 2020 presidential election, curiously. So the way I sold the book was to say Wauwatosa was a microcosm of everything that was happening in America in 2020.
Yeah, it truly was. And for folks who weren't, in and around Tosa or the Milwaukee area at the time, what was it? Again, it's a microcosm. Things were happening all over. But why specifically in Tosa and even including, weeks of protests at your house? What is it that remind people of what was happening in 2020 closer to home?
Well, we had a police officer who, ironically, was black. He had shot and killed 3 men of color in the 5 years leading up to my mayoral tenure. 2.5 months before I became mayor was his last shooting. And nothing happened until George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis. And then, of course, nationally and internationally, protests broke out. But in Wauwatosa, because of that police officer, his name was Joseph Mensah, we had 98 days and nights of protest here. we also, there, as I said, 40 days and nights at my house, and that was on the misguided notion that the mayor could fire a police officer. Under state law, only the Police and Fire Commission can hire, fire, and discipline police officers. I had no role in that, and yet I had people outside my house day after day after day.
To what degree did that anger, and I've spoken a lot about that, incredibly justifiable anger, but as you know, for a lot of people, that anger crossed a line when it turned into, riots and fires and things like that, or even on a smaller scale, the misunderstanding that a mayor can hire and fire police officers. So again, as you look back at it, I mean, you can't change history, but what kind of notes would there be for the future when it comes to people that feel very strongly, very angry about something like unjustifiable police violence, and they want to do something about it?
Well, I served for 24 years at the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. I represented people who were the victims of job discrimination based on race and sex and religion and age and disability. I lived and breathed that. And yet I got no credit for that in 2020 when I was trying to remind people that we have a legal system and you need to work through the law. You can't go out and do what people did in Kenosha, which is burn down 8 blocks of the city. And then we had an Illinois teenager come into Kenosha and kill 2 Black Lives Matter protesters. 5 weeks after that happened in Kenosha, I declared a curfew in Wauwatosa for 5 nights because we were worried about the same things happening here. And I got condemned by many people for that, but we ended up with $16,000 worth of broken windows. No Black Lives Matter protesters were killed, and we didn't have any blocks burning down in Wauwatosa. What I've told people is in times of crisis, you need a North Star. And the 2 North Stars I looked for were, one, my conscience. I quoted Abraham Lincoln, "We move forward with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right." That's your conscience. And then the other North Star, of course, always has to be the law. I've been a lawyer for over 40 years. I worked for a federal judge. I've taken 8 oaths of office of various kinds to support and defend and uphold the constitutions of the state and the United States. And I will follow that and give people due process. But a lot of people didn't want to give Joseph Mensah due process. They didn't want to follow the law. They just wanted to feel what they felt. And I get that. But it was my job to make sure that the people in Wauwatosa and the property in Wauwatosa were safe, but also people who come into Wauwatosa, to the state's busiest medical center, to the state's busiest shopping mall, to colleges and universities, were all taken care of.
Dennis McBride, Mayor of Wauwatosa, joins us. The book is called A City on the Edge, Pandemic, Protest, and Polarization. It's published by Indiana University Press. Get there at iupress.org. So in closing, Dennis, you ran for re-election, and you're serving your second term as mayor. So I'll ask you that question again. Why?
I had unfinished business. Wauwatosa is a wonderful mini metropolis in the center of the Milwaukee metropolitan area. We still have great things to do. Frankly, I also wanted vindication, and I got it. I won re-election by 17.5 points. I do want to make this point. This book that you mentioned isn't just about Wauwatosa. It's about Seattle and Minneapolis and Portland and all the other places where things happened in 2020. The publisher didn't want just Wauwatosa. He was attracted. They were attracted by Wauwatosa as a microcosm, but it's a much bigger story. It's the story of America in 2020 and beyond, even to this day. So I hope people will read it and reflect on it.
Well, and to that end, I mean, certainly something we preach here a lot on the show, and I feel like I've got somebody in the choir loft here with me, and that is the value of running for local office at any given level. I mean, today or tomorrow's first day nomination papers can be taken out for some local offices. So I'm guessing you're not about to say, "Hey, it worked for me, but none of the rest of you should run for local office." We probably need people more than ever.
I was talking to an alderman yesterday about him running for re-election, and I said, Mike, everybody ought to, I really believe this, everybody ought to run for office at least once. It's really an important experience in our democracy. getting to meet the voters, going door to door in the snow, finding out what people really want and what they think and what they need. That's really important. And it all happens at the beginning at the part of government closest to home, which is local government.
Pat McBride, who we also visited with earlier, and he had the book, The Luckiest Boy in the World, and you two were brothers.
Twin brothers.
Twin brothers. And so to what degree is there any friendly competition here now on book sales? Because his book was pretty terrific. I read that one cover to cover. So you got any family bet going on this one?
Well, I was the co-author of his book. So
there you go. So you already get you're already a head start.
I'm competing with myself.
Dennis McBride, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you again. A City on the Edge, Pandemic Protest and Polarization. See it at Indiana University Press, iupress.org, or wherever you get your books. Dennis, thank you so much. Have a great day. Happy holidays to you.
Thanks to you, and happy holidays to you and everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to get to talk to him about the value of running for local office and serving there. Jane Matnair is on the way. 2 more weeks of Matnair on air before her retirement, so we'll find out what she and Greg Bach are planning for this week. And then we're fully loaded with guests for the week here, including Congressman Mark Bocan coming up on Thursday. And of course, you can follow what I do at Up North News by heading over to upnorthnewswi.com and subscribing to our newsletter there as well. I'm Pat Kreitlow. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. And then there's Jane. Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks. Did you have a nice weekend?
Yes. My husband did the majority of the shoveling on Saturday, but I went out yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that stuff got heavy.
It did, didn't it? Yeah. I was surprised.
He went out a couple of times with the leaf blower on Saturday.
Until he couldn't.
Until he couldn't anymore. Yeah. And then it was like, I was only out there for 40 minutes, and I'm still sore.
I got to say, now I only lived in Milwaukee for the 4 years while Sherry was in med school, but with the lake there and everything, and it could just be my memory, I don't remember there ever being a light, fluffy snow. I think like so much of it is just that heavy stuff that falls.
Well, and we were getting wind off the east. So it was all coming off the lake, so that kept it a little bit warmer, and I think that's why it was so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Did
you have to travel through it at all?
No.
Oh, good.
We talk all the time about those poor people who have to travel for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I would never fly. That's one holiday.
No,
I would never ever fly on Thanksgiving.
You could not pay me enough to even try to do that.
No.
And I'm just watching all these folks, and I'm feeling really bad for them and the drivers. We've had to drive across the state, many times, in horrific weather. So of course on Saturday we did as well, not across the state, but just down to Eau Claire. But Sherry was supposed to be on call Thursday night. It turned into Friday night because her replacement couldn't get to Eau Claire. And so when she finally got done on Saturday, we had to pack a lot of stuff in, and it's snowing already. And of course we pull, a Bill Murray out of Stripes or a Caddyshack. We're like, well, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for a while yet. So we get in the car.
No.
And as we're going from store to store in Eau Claire, picking up various things, it's just getting harder and harder. And we're like, this might have been a bad decision. But, we made it. But we were.
Well, good. Did you spend the night?
No, we made it back to Chippewa just fine.
You did?
Yeah. And then yesterday was all kinds of, getting the tree and the decorations and everything. So we packed 4 days worth of activities into 2 days just fine.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff
take a nap
too.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
So need a nap. So we got this all good to go here. I gotta go find
Secret Show. Secret Show.
Look at that, she got to join
Secret Show.
Secret Show.
There's my guest for tomorrow. Okay, we are set, and
30 seconds left in a break.
Yeah, like said right there. Tony writes, after I drop Sydney off at school and I hear that reminder, I always do a double take. Like, did I forget to take you to school? It's possible. So
15 seconds.
Love having her do that. All right, here we go. Jane Matnair is with us now to talk about Matnair on Air. We're into the 2 weeks heading in down the runway for the landing before she gets on another real plane and jets off to God knows where, right?
God knows where. That's right.
Yep. I have to ask, from a retirement standpoint, have you, because of course Sherry and I are now talking about this, so there's a million questions. Did you like right away map out, like, for the first year, we're going to travel to this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that? Or is it more of the, we're going to nap a lot and then we'll just figure out what we're doing from there? How much planning did you do?
I wish I were that organized. It's more of, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously do not have anything plotted out or planned, or I just might goof around for the rest of my life until I drop dead. I'm not sure.
Nothing wrong with that. No.
I'm not expecting the great American novel to come out of me. No. Actually, what I'm probably going to spend time doing, at least for the first couple of months, is my husband and I are trying to downsize and get rid of things.
That is always the first job I hear from people.
We've been in our house
have time. Yeah.
We've been in our house for 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much stuff. I don't even know. I think people come in at night and leave things. I don't know where it came from. It's like, what is that? Is that yours? I don't even recognize that.
I was saying we did that just yesterday. Our Christmas ornaments, they used to be in one box and then 2 boxes. And now it's like 3 boxes and like another half box.
Yeah.
And they're all just kind of thrown in there. And this year, because we had nothing else going on and it was snowing like crazy, I just finally laid them all out while Sherry was working on making peanut butter balls and other things. And I finally said, come over here. And she didn't know. She comes around the corner. I'm like, welcome to the Museum of Ornaments. And I did kind of organize them like these are the ones I know we always use. These are the ones,
favorites.
These are the ones that are kind of like to fill things out,
right,
which we don't need to do anymore after all these years, right?
Yep.
And then there's these. And we both at different times said, I have never seen this ornament in my life.
Where did that come from?
Where did this come from? Was it a work gift? One of those white elephant swaps, whatever.
Or a Secret Santa or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, a couple of them were just, they were butt ugly. They were just, I don't know where they came from. And not the ones that I know were handmade by our kids when they were little.
Those are precious.
Until the moment where we realized that if my mom said, hey, I have this thing you made for me in 2nd grade, I know what I'd say. I'd go, oh, that's nice that you kept it. Throw it away.
Throw that. It's time, Mom.
It's time. And so we might have gone ahead and done that because we already know what they would say about it.
Well, yes, exactly.
Because let's face it, there's a reason they hadn't been put on the tree all these years. It may have been made with love, but it was not made to hang in the Louvre.
That is so funny that you say that. But I think that's a very specific thing about favorite ornaments that go on first.
Yes.
And then the lesser secondary ornaments for fill.
Well, I was, from the get-go, I was one of those that loved the Hallmark dated ornaments. And so for the first, 15 years or so, you've got First Christmas Together, Baby's First Christmas. There was, a Disney World one for our first Disney trip with all of them with the date on it. So it was and then there finally came like some year, I don't remember exactly when, where we're just like, none of these look good. Why we're not getting any of these?
I don't even like this anymore.
I don't even like this anymore. And so we still have the first year's ones, and I always put those up first. It's always very kind of sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, all right, what other crap do we got to throw up here? And we eventually get it all done. But
yeah. The other thing you mentioned that Sherry did some baking, that was what I did on Saturday. That was my excuse to focus on sugar. I can't go outside, so essentially I'm just going to use butter and sugar all day, and that's essentially what I did.
Love it. It's perfect.
That's a great strategy.
I love it. It could be for life as well. There's just times when
butter and sugar.
You need to have a butter and sugar day. If it comes out as cookies or cake or whatever, but it starts with butter and sugar.
All good things stem from that.
I keep hearing that there are going to be like surprises here for the last 2 weeks of your radio show, but I'm sure 1 or 2 things you can tell us about coming up this week.
I do know 1 or 2 things. As you mentioned, They have some surprises scheduled for me. I love surprises. We do have Aaron Carreno is going to be joining us this coming Thursday. Aaron and I go back a really, really long way. When he first started in radio, he was an intern for me.
Oh, wow.
And the morning show that I had at the time.
And now he's like one of the big bosses for Civic Media.
He is. Now he's part of our management team. So Aaron and I go back a long way. I'm sure he's going to talk all the bad stories about how I treated him when he was a young intern, and I abused him and probably made him wash my car. I don't know what I did to him.
Well, look, we're both now at a point where we kind of look back at some point and go, we kind of wince and go, oh, maybe I didn't handle that as graciously as I could have. You know?
Oh, I look back at some things. I was actually able to apologize to a woman that I have been wanting to apologize to for about 20 years.
Oh, my.
And I ran into Elizabeth Kay at the Mix, and I ran into her at the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association event award ceremony last spring. And I said, I owe you like a 20-year apology. And we had a lovely conversation. I'm telling you, that is one of the best things that you can do is apologize to someone.
Yeah.
It's a gift. If they are gracious enough to forgive you, it is a huge gift.
I did about a year or so ago finally get to do that with a photographer, the one who I dragged along as we got shanghaied, kidnapped on a riverboat with Al Gore, and missed an entire day's news because they did not let us off at the next stop as they promised. And
oh, no.
We didn't get along well to begin with. That only made things worse, and I finally got to make that apology. So that's a point very well taken, Jane.
It is.
Thankfully for me, I have nobody else to apologize to. It was just that one thing, right?
Just the one guy over the course of your life. You did well, Pat Kreitlow.
Yeah, not buying that for a minute. Jane Matinair on After the News. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, gentlemen. See you later.
All right, see you later. And thank you, Parker. Thanks to all of you for joining us. I'm Pat Kreitlow from Up North News, part of Courier Newsroom, a pro-democracy news network. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. here up north.